Station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona football, along with Arizona football play-by-play. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what?
Central Northwest Tucson, duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but three first names, David Scott Kelly.
Chance at the last shot. Beal. Tough fadeaway is good. Bradley Beal, and he's fouled. Booker behind the back. Three-pointer in transition. It's down.
Last night was not the night. Well, it was kind of. The Suns won. They beat the Warriors. So it was the night. But it wasn't the night in terms of the big three getting on the floor for this basketball team. But tonight appears to be the night. Tonight we will see Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, the new three main players, and what we all hope will be a Phoenix Suns NBA championship run. We will finally see those players on the floor tonight together for the first time this season. 23 games. We've seen sometimes one, sometimes two, combination of two, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. And then was Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal. And last night it was Devin Booker and Bradley Beal because Kevin Durant's had an injured ankle that he suffered in the quarterfinal game of the in-season tournament, the game that the Suns lost to the Lakers. But now we will see all three expected to be available tonight at the Footprint Center here in State 48 when the Phoenix Suns take on the Brooklyn Nets, the former team of one Kevin Durant. Excited, to say the least.
Also, first time that Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson have played back in Phoenix as well. I did get some Q&A with Mr. Mikal Bridges, a couple of minutes of that, if you want to go there as well, because those guys are so loved in that city. And he was asked specifically about, not only those two guys leaving in that Kevin Durant trade, but more recently with, Ayton leaving and everybody else, now that Booker's the only remaining player left from that finals run, just a completely different team over there.
Yeah, those guys were loved. I mean, Cam Johnson was a guy that was a fan favorite, and obviously Mikal Bridges and everything that he was able to do during his time with Phoenix. It's going to be good to see those guys back. It was tough to watch them leave, but it's a new era now. The new era starts tonight. We'll get into that today. We have a lot on the show today to give you in what is actually going to be the next 3.5+ hours, because we've got a huge women's basketball game here tonight in Tucson. The Arizona Wildcats welcoming in the number 5 Texas Longhorns. Hooks down tonight. We're going to talk some of that coming up here shortly. Roger Wallace, the play-by-play man for Texas women's basketball, will join us. You'll hear from Helena Puello. Today had a chance to sit down with Helena, our 5th year. So we'll hear from Helena on her transition. Adia Barnes said earlier this fall when she first met Helena would hardly speak. She didn't know English. She kind of had to translate through her husband, Salvo Coppa, who obviously is from Italy and speaks Spanish. So he had to translate. But how Helena has grown into a crowd and a fan favorite in what is now her 5th year with the University of Arizona. The only player remaining from the team that knocked off Texas in Austin back in 2019, the night that Ari McDonald scored a U of A program record 44 points. It has taken that long to get this game back on the schedule, but the return is tonight, and it is a tall task for Adia Barnes' young crew as the number 5 Longhorns will come in here. So we will talk to Roger Wallace about that. Also, we're going to start our celebrations of our state championship football teams here in Southern Arizona. CDO is going to join us on the program today. The Dorados. We will talk with head coach Dustin Peace, offensive lineman Morgan Narcaroti, and defensive players, defensive standouts, Evan Greer and Grant Young. That'll be in the 4 o'clock hour. So join us for that. Helena Puello will come your way in the 5 o'clock hour. And then in the 6 o'clock hour, we'll take you right up to Derek Palmer, who is going to start our coverage at 6:45 from McHale Center for what's going to be a little bit after 7. We're understanding 7:06 tip-off tonight for Arizona and Texas. You will hear from Adia Barnes as well as from Jada Williams. Jada Williams, the exciting freshman point guard on this women's basketball team. We will hear from her as well. So big basketball tonight here in Tucson as the ladies will take on the Texas Longhorns. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Also, coming up today in the 5 o'clock hour, Crickets got tickets today to the Tucson Roadrunners, who are back home. The Roadrunners taking on the Abbotsford Canucks. I wonder who they're affiliated with.
Probably the Canucks.
Very good, J-Dub. They are.
It's in the name.
Exactly. Yeah. It's in the name. Abbotsford, Vancouver, Canucks. Sounds like a plan there.
Abbotsford is a city I've never heard of, and I'd like to think I've heard of a lot of cities and committed them to memory, but never heard of Abbotsford.
We'll have to find out exactly the lowdown on Abbotsford coming up a little bit later. They're new. I mean, I think this is only their second or third year in the league, so they're a relatively new team. As again, that's kind of what the modus operandi has been for the National Hockey League is to move affiliates closer to the parent club. So I would imagine Abbotsford is probably somewhere in British Columbia, not too far from Vancouver. Just like we've got, although I think the San Antonio Sharks, obviously they have their affiliate, which is right near them. It's actually, in fact, in the same city, San Jose Barracuda. It's right in the same city.
Can't get moving much closer than that.
Can't get any closer than that. Or Ontario, the Reign. They're the affiliate of the Los Angeles Kings. Ontario is obviously, a 35-minute drive outside of downtown Los Angeles?
According to the map I'm looking at, Abbotsford could not be further away from Vancouver.
Really?
Yeah, it's literally on the other side of Canada, right next to Montreal.
Wow.
Unless there's multiple Abbotsfords.
Quebec?
Yeah.
There's no, really?
That's what it's.
I can't imagine that.
That's what I'm looking at here.
That would be horrendously long travel,
right,
for Abbotsford. If that's the that
hey,
can't
maps
be.
Have been wrong before, so
yeah, I'd have to. No, there is an Abbotsford, British Columbia. There is one. Well, let's see where it's located though. So now you got me wondering here.
All of Tucson wants to know, David Kelly, where is Abbotsford?
Where is Abbotsford? See how we went yesterday from the NBA to Franz Klammer?
Right.
And now we've gone to where in the hell is Abbotsford?
We're just
British Columbia.
We're in Tucson in December, and it's like 80 degrees, so we're just panning for some kind of cold weather. So we're always going up to Canada, downhill skiing.
So now, actually, wait a minute. That is, it says British Columbia. No, that's Quebec. So there's two of them. There is an Abbotsford, Quebec. I clicked on British Columbia, and I got the one for Quebec.
Yeah,
right.
The one I saw was way over there on the far east side.
We'll figure that out and come back to that.
I'm sure they know where they're from. Just call them.
I hope they know where they're from because we sure don't know where they're from. We'll talk to a Roadrunner tomorrow. Maybe I hope the Roadrunners know. Maybe the players know where Abbotsford is. We can get something out of them about what that's all about. So, all right. Also, we'll touch a little bit on, again, we'll get back to the Suns and the festivities from last night's game. Draymond Green needs to be put in a timeout. He needs to be put in a timeout, I think, for a while. His act is tired. It's tired. It's old, and I'm done watching it. To be quite frank with you, Draymond Green needs to be put into a timeout. Okay, so did you guys get the email? We are joined by Cricket.
Hello.
Hello, Cricket. Did you guys get the email last week about the lunch at Vivace?
I did see it. I had to work. I couldn't go, but
right.
yeah, I did see it.
So did you think about going to that lunch?
No. I have stuff to do. I got to work too.
So there was this email. It went out, and it went out to the entire staff about a lunch at Vivace. We had our Christmas party last week. You didn't even come to the Christmas party.
I got stuff to do. I got stuff to do. Man.
She's here at 5 a.m. until 9. And
Okay,
then when
so
there's
you didn't want to spend another 2 hours eating free food?
I'd have to come back.
Clearly, Cricket is not into the free food like DK is.
Oh, yeah. Well, I knew there'd be food left over when I got here at 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
You know?
So I saw the email. It said, I'm thinking to myself, oh, maybe this is how they roll here at Cumulus Media. You know, we had our Christmas party, and now we get the fancy Christmas lunch at Vivace.
And
so I went.
How was it? That's good. How was it? Were there cocktails? Was it lunch? Was it dinner? What was it?
Well, it was the lunch. It was the longest lunch I think I've ever had. First of all, Vivace was packed. I don't know if you ever eaten at Vivace. Ever eaten there? Fancy restaurant in the foothills right down the street from where I live. So of course I'm there all the time. No, not really.
They know your name.
The food was fabulous, and it's not really that expensive either. I mean, like the entree, $25, which that's pretty good for a restaurant. So anyway, I get there, and when I get there, I figure out that this is just a sales thing.
Just the sales people?
The email went out as a mistake to everybody.
Oh,
it was only supposed to go to the sales staff.
Did they ask you how did you know about this?
So I was like, I don't have my meeting. Well, so I get there and Ernie's there. You know, Ernie's cool. Earn Dollars is there, and he's like, oh, hey, you're coming to the. I was like, yeah. And it took me a while. So I thought, it's probably a staff lunch. So we're in a room, and they take us to the table, and it's like this table set up for like 10 people, and that's when I kind of got the idea. I was like, yeah, maybe this is not supposed to be for everybody.
Whoops. Well, I'm so glad I didn't go. Dude, aren't you, J-Dub?
Yeah. So I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like what if like other people like me who thought this lunch was for everybody show up to it?
Oops. Who was in charge of sending that email out?
Somebody that sent all instead of sales. I think it's like the peons, we get buckets full of food, and then all the fancy people, they're going up to the fancy restaurants. Yeah.
So I got to hang out with the sales giants. And so we get there, though, at 12. And look, again, the food was great. I think they were a little overwhelmed. It was packed. It was like a big party, several big parties there. We sat down at 12. They didn't take our order till 12:50. We didn't get our food until 1:45.
Wow. Whoa.
1:45. So I literally took 2 light bites, said, can you send me my box? I got to box this. I got to go. I got to go do a show at 3 o'clock. So yeah, it was the lunch that lasted forever. So then the funny thing is we our great sales guy, Mike Harrelson, he orders this meal, and they didn't tell him that they didn't have it until they brought everybody else's meals.
Oh, no. So he's sitting there with no food.
So he had no food.
Oh man.
So that was our Vivace experience. Yes. But again, the food was great. The server was great. I think they were a little overwhelmed. It was Christmas season. Maybe it seemed like at one point only one person was working our own section, so they maybe didn't have as much staff as they should have had. And so it took forever. It was the lunch that lasted all day. And then, like I said, I left at 1:45, and everybody else was just starting to eat. So I don't know what they probably didn't leave there until about 2:30 or 3 o'clock.
The food is great. That's all that matters.
Yeah,
right?
it is. It's good food. It's good food. So go eat at Vivace. I had a chicken dish that was I finished it off just a few minutes ago. It was absolutely fabulous. But yeah, that was so DK's just don't ever send an invitation to DK for free food because I'm going to show up. Yeah. I'm going to show up. Apparently, like Cricket and J-Dub, they'll sit it out, but DK is going to show up if there's a free meal involved.
You can have ours.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Extra for DK.
So now we'll have to put that on our list now. Lunch for DK on the sports tip and staff at Vivace.
Dan, it sounds really swanky.
And we'll get Keith Rosenblatt to pick up the tab on that one, too.
Let's do it.
There you go. All right. Getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather. Here's Cricket.
And from the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together with reported collisions Irvington and Country Club, northbound I-19 near Irvington, Sandario and Manville, and also in Oro Valley, McGee, west of Oracle at McGee and Northern. And expect slowdowns on Sunrise Drive east of Campbell for traffic signal work through Friday. Overnight lows at 40 and clear skies 68 tomorrow and 70 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Boost Infinite.
Boost Infinite's new wireless technology gives you 3 networks for the price of 1 and better service at a lower price. Switch today. Visit boostinfinite.com. That's boostinfinite.com.
Boost. At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
When you're rolling Charmin Ultra Soft on the party, this is more, so roll it back, everybody. Charmin's irresistibly soft and hella nice. The grip is always stocked. It's our party vibe. She's cushion, so our chicks feel fly. So worth it. Everybody wanna touch the sky.
Charmin Ultra Soft is irresistibly soft and more absorbent, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Nothing slows my little girl down, except the stuffy nose.
Mommy.
That's why I use Sinex Children's Saline from Vicks. Sinex instantly clears mucus in everyday stuffy little noses with a gentle, ultra-fine mist designed for kids. Just Sinex? Breathe. Her stuffy nose is gone for now. And so is she.
Sinex Children's Saline. Sinex, breathe. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Broadway in Tucson presents the Rockin' 2023-2024 season featuring 8 blockbuster productions including Disney's Aladdin, The Book of Mormon, Hairspray, and Chicago. Enjoy the Southern Arizona musical premieres of Tina, the Tina Turner Musical, Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Time of the Temptations, MJ the Musical, and Mrs. Doubtfire. Secure your choice season tickets today and get the ultimate in flexibility and the lowest prices all season. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your season tickets today.
At Right Way, our team wouldn't last 5 minutes against the Wildcats. But when it comes to great service and your home comfort, well, that's a slam dunk. Whether it's heating and cooling, water heaters, or a block drain, give us a call today and let us win the game for you. Or visit www.rightwayac.com. Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is proud to be an official sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. If it's worth doing, do it the right way.
Tucson has a brand new platform for some of the leading conservative voices and opinion makers in America. It's the all-new Freedom 1400 KTUC. Freedom 1400 is the new home for conservative talk in Tucson. Voices you know and trust from Fox News Television, Newsmax Television, or your favorite conservative podcasts. When you want fresh, entertaining conservative talk, go to 1400 AM or stream it at freedom1400.com and listen to the new Freedom 1400.
Wendy's Peppermint Frosty and Frosty Cream Cold Brew make the perfect gift for anyone in your life. Especially for you. Yeah, this year you're sitting on your own lap and getting yourself what you want. Finally. And if you need a little more pep in your step, get yourself a refreshing Peppermint Frosty Cream Cold Brew. Or you can give it to your mom. Whatever.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Vanilla Frosty is temporarily unavailable.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hi, this is Natalie Fernandez of Meridian Wealth Management, and I'd like to invite you to our complimentary retirement income workshop held every Friday at 10 a.m. in our offices at the Williams Center. We discuss the key risks in retirement, how retirement has changed, and how to best plan for success. A recent study showed 60% of retirees would go back and plan differently if they could. We want to help you avoid the would've, could've, should've. Call our office at 719-1433 to reserve your seat today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
The colors of this holiday season are green and red, which is perfect because right now at O'Reilly Chevrolet, we're having a red tag sale and you can save lots of green. The best news, your current vehicle has never been worth more than it is right now. So this holiday season, give us a call at 747-8000 or go to O'Reilly.com. Or better yet, see us in person on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Find new roads and something new for the holidays that will last for years to come at O'Reilly Chevrolet.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
He's kind and he's funny and he's also mustachioed. He solves all your problems by the end of every episode. TV Dad. Everyone loves TV Dad. TV Dad. Unlike your real dad, he never hollers. And he tells you how Progressive can save you lots of dollars.
Listen to your TV Dad. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary.
Remember, the one and only play-by-play home for Arizona Athletics is 1290. So if you're listening to Arizona football, men's basketball, and baseball, you have it locked on 1290. Wildcats Radio 1290. DK on the sports tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, let's talk about this big college basketball game that we've got here in Tucson tonight. It is women's basketball at McKale Center. The number 5 Texas Longhorns are coming into town to take on the University of Arizona. It is the return game of a home-and-home, in which the first game was played over 4 years ago. And we are pleased to be joined by the man that will call the game for the Longhorns radio network tonight. His name is Roger Wallace. And Roger, first of all, welcome. Am I reading this correctly that you are a local TV sports anchor as well?
Yeah, I do a little moonlighting with UT, but yeah, I work for the NBC affiliate.
So how does that
in Austin.
How does that work with your schedule to be on the road all the time and stuff? Because I'm a former TV anchor. I recently got out of the business here in Tucson here to move back over to the radio side. But how do you make that work, being a play-by-play man as well as having to be around for local sports coverage?
Well, it starts with being at my station for almost 30 years, so they give me a little bit of leeway. But I'm the voice of the Longhorns. It's kind of unusual. Not many schools have it, but the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way, actually does men's and women's basketball. So I kind of fill in with him when he's with the men if the women are playing, and then we work together for football. He's actually doing state championship football in Arlington this weekend, so that's why I'm here. But it's a nice setup, and it's a nice way to stay involved with some play-by-play. And obviously, this is a pretty fun team to cover.
All right, I'm going to divert you for a second because you just said state championship football in Texas, because we were kind of talking about this last week. Is it true that there's like you have to win like 5 or 6 games in the postseason to get to the championship in Texas?
Yeah, this is week 6. This is it. They're in Arlington at AT&T Stadium, and today 3 games, the 2 6-man championship games, and then the smallest 11-man classification. And then they'll play a total of 12 state championship games between today and Saturday night. All the classifications actually have 2 divisions because of the disparity in enrollment. So they have a Division I and a Division II in each classification. So they'll crown 12 state champions starting today and ending on Saturday night, and they'll probably have on Saturday upwards of 50,000 at AT&T Stadium.
Wow, that's going to be that's always a fun time of year there, I'm sure. down in Texas. Roger Wallace joining us. He is the play-by-play man tonight for UT women's basketball as they are here as the number 5 team in the country to take on the Arizona Wildcats. And so, Roger, just curious, were you on the mic or not the last time these two teams played and Arian McDonald, our star, put up 44 points?
I was not there. That was 2019.
Yeah.
I did not do that game. And then, they were supposed to play in Las Vegas a couple of years ago.
Right.
And the COVID situation forced that game to be canceled, although Texas ended up playing San Diego out in Vegas. So, no, that was I think that one shocked everybody the way they came in and manhandled Texas back in 19. Obviously a different coaching staff now, but none of these players were part of it, but certainly Texas fans remember that because not often do teams come into Austin, maybe not named Baylor in women's basketball, and win by 25 over the last decade or so.
Yeah, Vic Schaefer in his 4th season has won 86 games. How has he built this program?
Well, he, a little bit similar to what he did with Mississippi State. He's just got a lot of toughness, and they play 94 feet, and he gets players that kind of buy into what he wants to do, and that's play really hard on defense, and the offense will come. But he's a Texan. Even though he went to A&M, he was born in Austin, so he has a certain affinity, obviously, for the University of Texas. But he's an outstanding recruiter, and then he gets his teams just to play really, really hard, and so that's part of it. And really good players obviously help, and they're led by a junior point guard, Rory Harmon, who will be getting some All-American considerations for sure.
Rory Harmon, you mentioned, comes in, only player this year in Division I basketball, averaging at least 13 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 steals. She sounds like a stat sheet stuffer. What are the Wildcats going to have to contend with her tonight?
Well, she's really good with the ball. She's got a great mid-range game, and only 5'6", but she can create her own shot. And then they've got a freshman who can also give her a little bit of relief handling the ball in Madison Booker from Mississippi, who also is big. So it's kind of an unusual combination to have a 6'1" point guard. And I will say on the broadcast with her, it's just a matter if her shots go in. She can create and she can get open looks because she's so good and she's so smooth. Obviously, then it's a matter of does the ball go in or not. And so far she's been pretty good so far. She's shooting about 45% from the field, and she can shoot the 3. But Rory Harmon's a tenacious defensive player. That's where it starts. And anybody that watches the game tonight, she'll be added at both ends.
You guys obviously had the big win last Sunday 2 Sundays ago, actually, over UConn. What was the feeling after that ball game? Obviously, UConn may be a little bit down. They're losing a little bit more than they normally would, but still beating UConn is something to write home about for any program.
Yeah, and it's been a strange year. First of all, they'd never beaten UConn, so that was a hurdle. They didn't care who was dressed in a UConn jersey. They just never have been able to get over that hump. And Paige Beckers did play, and they did pretty well. I think she was 5 of 11 with 13 points. But they got off to a quick start, and I say that because the unusual part of the season, until that game, they had not had an offensive possession that mattered in the second half of the game. Every game was over by halftime, and They played Arizona State in the Virgin Islands. It was 21-2. They played High Point, and it was 32-0. They played South Florida, and they were up 20 at the end of the first quarter rather. So that was the test. What would happen in the fourth quarter? And UConn made a run. Texas jumped on them early, but UConn made a run, and they kind of weathered the storm. But I think that was the most important part is that, and again, they played Long Beach last week, didn't have a meaningful possession in the second half. So they've had one game where they had to play in the second half where it meant something. So I think that's going to be the big test tonight. First of all, it's a true road game. They haven't played one of those. They only played in the Virgin Islands. And then what happens if it's, comes down to the last 5 minutes?
92 points per game this team is putting up. Was Vic expecting that he had that kind of club that would be able to score at that rate?
I'm not sure at that rate, and that's a lot of defense to offense. Yeah. Vic Schaefer's had good offensive teams, but primarily he wins with defense, and then they create create offense, but they've shot the ball much better than they have since he's been at Texas. They're shooting. It's only they're shooting 51% as a team. That's off the charts for his teams. They're not a great free throw shooting team right now, but yeah, I think that's a little higher than anyone expected. And again, the schedule hasn't been great. Let's be honest. Yeah. It was UConn and everybody else. South Florida, they thought, because South Florida beat them last year, maybe they would give them a good game, but that wasn't the same team as last year. So again, tonight's going to be probably a bigger challenge than UConn because it's on the road.
Talking with Roger Wallace. He is the play-by-play man tonight for the UT Longhorns. It is Arizona and Texas tonight at McHale Center with tip-off coming up at 7 o'clock. The Longhorns enter town as the number 5 team in the country. You mentioned that this is a team that obviously is maybe shooting the ball a little bit better than they have. When you obviously knowing this team, what would you say are the keys for Arizona beating them? What does Arizona have to do to beat Texas tonight?
Well, Arizona turns teams over, and that has not been a big problem for Texas so far, but that has been a problem in recent years is handling the ball and not having empty possessions. And so, Arizona, one of the top teams in the nation with steals. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how this Texas offense handles it. And then the other thing is, are they both going to press? Texas didn't press UConn, I think, because they knew that they're probably going to have to shrink the bench a little bit. And Rory Harmon was probably going to have to play 35 to 40 minutes. And so they didn't press. Normally it's, from the jump. So I'll be curious to see what each team does tonight against the other team as far as, pressing 94 feet. But if Arizona can turn Texas over, I think that's where Texas could be a little bit vulnerable because they haven't had a lot of stress on offense so far this season.
You got a young lady on this team. Obviously, we had a chance to see play on the high school circuit here a number of years ago from the Valley, Shaylee Gonzalez, who started her career at BYU. What was attractive about her, maybe wanting to get into the program as a graduate transfer over to Texas? And why did Vic think that she was an important piece maybe to add to his team?
Well, he needs scores, and he looks for a lot of things other than scoring, but you need scores, and her numbers have been a little bit down this year, but again, I equate that to the fact that they've had so many blowouts. But a great scorer, her shooting's a little down. Great free throw shooter. They'd like to get her to the line more. But again, you mix in, and she certainly bought in, and she's played really well on defense. But he got her here to give him some punch from the perimeter. They don't have a lot of 3-point shooting threats. And she's certainly their best one. So it was interesting that she chose to come back for another season as well. And I think that says a lot about her feelings about the program. She's played a lot of basketball, but she wanted to come back for one more ride. And so she's been a big addition with her scoring pop. Last year she got thrust into point guard for the first part of the season because Rory Harmon was injured to start the season. And so it was kind of a weird start to her Texas career at a kind of an unfamiliar position. But once Rory came back, she settled into that 2 spot. And now she has this Madison Booker freshman. So really she doesn't have to do a whole lot of handling the ball, and she can play off it where she's at her best. I think she's going to have like 50-plus family and friends tonight.
Oh, wow. Cool. Changes are coming, Roger, obviously, to college athletics. You all are departing the Big 12. Arizona is going to be arriving in the Big 12. How does Texas as a whole, the Longhorn department as a whole, kind of feel about how they're sized up and ready to go heading into the SEC?
Yeah, it's funny because, and every coach, once it happened a couple of years ago, every coach kind of deferred, well, it was a football decision, clearly, and everybody else has to get in line. I think for women's basketball, it's going to be, first of all, they can't seem to get away from Kim Mulkey, who gave them fits when she was at Baylor, finally left, and now they're going to be right back with her. And for Vic, obviously, he knows the SEC with his years at Mississippi State, assistant at Arkansas. I think it's going to be tough either way for women's basketball, whether they stay in the Big 12 or go to the SEC. But again, there's so many teams, so the schedule's going to be a bit imbalanced. They get away from a Baylor program that seems to be kind of getting back to that top 15, top 10, but clearly the SEC is going to be more difficult for women's basketball. Men's basketball, probably, hard to argue with the Big 12. Problem for Arizona and Arizona State and Colorado and Utah is they lose the best trip in the Big 12 because Austin would be the best trip, but of course that's a big reason why Big 12 has shuffled the schedule. But yeah, so now we get to go to beautiful places like Starkville, Mississippi, and Columbia, South Carolina, rather than Ames, Iowa, and Morgantown, West Virginia. So I guess it's kind of a push.
There you go. And give me a grade on our guy Chris Del Conte. He spent a number of years here in Tucson with the University of Arizona as a lower level administrator, and now leading that fine program there that has taken control of the Directors Cup from Stanford. We never thought that any school would be able to do that, but Texas has clearly been able to do that over the last few years under Chris Del Conte's leadership.
Well, you have to say A+ because now not only do you have that, and that was largely on sports other than the one that most people only care about outside of men's basketball and women's basketball and maybe some baseball, and that's football. So they're starting to hold up their end of the bargain. But he's created a game day atmosphere at UT like we haven't seen before in football. They built a new arena that was already in the works before he got there. He made the hire of Vic Schaefer. That kind of shocked everybody that they could get him away from Mississippi State. Obviously, the Chris Beard thing blew up in their face, but nobody can anticipate something like that. So we'll see how that goes. But they rolled the dice getting rid of Tom Herman, who didn't have a losing season, won all his bowl games. But it's looking like a pretty good decision now with Texas in their first college football playoff. So I would say high marks for CDC.
And I lied. One more question. Did you ever get a chance to interview our young man, Bijan Robinson?
Oh, man. He's something else, isn't he?
He is the best.
Yeah. You often wonder, okay, where's the problem with someone like that? And he went through a rough season, Sark's first year, and he stayed so positive. And he's an athletic department's dream because you can put him out there and he's going to be so positive and so likable. And then obviously what he did on the field was really special. And Sark always says that he and Roshan Johnson now with the Bears, guys like that, they're a part of this because they kind of created that culture. And then obviously they've taken it to the next level this year. But he was a special student athlete.
Outstanding. Hey, Roger, we appreciate you taking a few minutes. Enjoy your time here in Tucson. Looks like a great game tonight between the Wildcats and the Longhorns.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks so much for having me.
Roger Wallace, the play-by-play man tonight for Texas women's basketball. 7 o'clock tip-off, 7:06 tip-off tonight at McHale Center, the Wildcats and the number 5 Longhorns. Getting you home every 20 minutes on your 5s. More Suns talk coming up. Draymond has got to go into timeout. Timeout, Draymond, for a while. Getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather. Here's Cricket.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions eastbound I-10 frontage road east of Grant, Irvington and Country Club. Collision reported southbound I-19 near Ajo Way, Sandario and Manville. Also a crash McGee west of Oracle at McGee and Northern. 40 our overnight low, clear skies, and 68 tomorrow and 70 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by ChumbaCasino.com. It's time to experience the thrill of the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com. It's free to play. Play for fun and no purchases necessary. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions.
So I have been in the operating room most of my career watching people have orthopedic surgery, watching people get knees replaced, hips replaced, shoulders fixed, and I knew there had to be a better way.
That's Dr. Daniel Zuckerman, a medical director for QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in non-invasive regenerative treatments for pain relief.
I see so many people who could have been helped before they got to the operating room if only they had known about about regenerative medicine.
QC Kinetics, a natural alternative that uses your body's own healing properties to help restore and repair damaged joint tissue, providing long-lasting relief without drugs, surgery, or downtime.
Well, it feels great when I do get to see somebody who we help, who I know I kept out of the operating room. It's amazing how we change people's lives without surgery.
Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 520-497-4955. That's 520-497-4955. 520-497-4955.
We return now to the holiday shopping adventures of Eugene Snarkle and his best friend Doug.
Eugene, it looks like we waited a bit too long to get our shopping done. These shelves are pretty empty.
Yeah, Doug, looks like everything got sucked up into that great big cyber savings vortex. But I've got another great idea.
We interrupt Eugene's great ideas for this commercial message.
Trying to get on the road but need some maintenance or repairs to get your car, truck, SUV, or sleigh road trip ready?
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care has some fantastic year-end savings, like $50 back on any $250 purchase. When you pay with your Jack Furrier card, you save big.
Whether it's tires, maintenance, or auto repair, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care has you covered. We can get your vehicle road trip ready and save you some big bucks.
So, Eugene, what was that great idea of yours anyway?
I was thinking about getting everybody a giant-sized bag of Cheezos.
Thanks, Eugene. And for everyone else, there's Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, here to get you there.
Wildcat fans, join head coach Adia Barnes and the Arizona women's basketball team in McHale Center this season. Season tickets are on sale now. You won't want to miss the fierce competition coming to Arizona. Season tickets are available now at ArizonaWildcats.com/WBK. Arizona women's basketball. Let's pack McHale Center.
Desperate buyers have created tremendous opportunity for sellers. If you've had the slightest thought of selling your home, it's time to call Sean Poston with the Poston Results Team at Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. Why choose the Poston Results Team? Past performance, more money in your pocket, over a 65% referral rate, an incredible Poston Results Team staff, and most important, communication, because you and your home matter. The Poston Results Team. When buying and selling really mattered, go to TucsonHomeValues.com. That's TucsonHomeValues with an S.com.
Ever wonder if after a long day of shopping, the secret to banishing your body aches lies right under your feet? The Good Feet store is revealing a little-known fact. Your feet could be the culprit behind your hip, knee, and back woes. Discover their personally fitted arch supports. Bonus, they're FSA, HSA eligible. Head over to goodfeet.com to schedule your free fitting and test walk. Step into a potentially pain-free holiday season with a visit to the Good Feet store. Walk-ins welcome.
Make the right choice for your home when it comes to windows and doors. For more than 20 years, the Window Depot has provided the best price and biggest inventory on in-stock windows and doors. The Window Depot is open to the public, so whether you're a homeowner or a contractor, you can shop the enormous warehouse. Browse the shelves with over 1,000 vinyl windows, interior and patio doors, and skylights in several varieties and sizes available to go home today. Shop thewindowdepot.com or find a location near you. The Window Depot. Best price, biggest inventory.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Today on Hey Culligan Smart Home, Smarter Water Softener. Here's Kevin.
Hey Culligan, can a smart water softener lift those heavy salt bags for me?
Kevin, it can.
Wait, it can?
Yep, the smart high-efficiency water softener from Culligan can alert your dealer when the salt needs to be replaced, and they'll do it for you, so your water stays soft and you stay away from lifting the bags.
I mean, I could lift them if I wanted.
No judgment here, Kevin. We're happy to do it, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
I thought learning a language would be too much work, but Babbel makes learning fun. J'aime Babbel.
Babbel's lessons only take 10 or 15 minutes, and soon you turn and realize, hey, I'm starting to speak another language. How'd that happen?
Babbel isn't robots talking. You learn words and phrases from real native speakers. I was ready for real-life conversations in just a few weeks. So easy.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
You know what? In this building, you can't hear anything because it's like a club. It's like a South Beach club. It's just this thumping techno club music. Thumping techno club music. Thumping techno club music. Thumping techno club music.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Yeah, apparently Steve Kerr did not like the level of the music being played at the Footprint Center the last time. Not last night, but the last time the Golden State Warriors came to town to take on the Phoenix Suns. It got a little, apparently, it was too loud in there for Steve Kerr.
Yeah. Here, I have the actual original statements. Here it is.
Please.
Our guys competing together, consistently competing together. And they have a really good connection. It's a great group. They really like each other. But when you see a team compete together, you know it. You feel it. It's the communication. It's playing with force. It's playing downhill. It's playing with great communication. You can hear everybody, talking defensively. Although in this building you can't hear anything because it's like a club. It's like a South Beach club out there. What are we doing? I'm being dead serious. Like, I couldn't hear anything out there. It's just the whole game. It's just this thumping techno club music. Can we just have a basketball game anymore? What the hell? Sorry for the rant.
Oh, man.
That was the 22nd of November.
Steve Kerr is clearly not into house music. Clearly. Not like me. I love house music.
Well, the best is this is what happened after he heard the remix.
Did you like the remix? You said
I thought it was hilarious. We're in the entertainment business, and stuff like that is great. I mean, it's, I may have to respond with something of my own.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
DJ Kerr's in the building.
DJ Kerr, DJ Stevie K is in the building. Suns beat the Warriors 119-116. Bradley Beal's return after a month away from injuries. He's just playing 3 games all year. 3 of the first 22 for the Suns. He finished 5 of 12 from the floor. 16 points and 3 assists. Devin Booker, another huge game, 32 points. This was a tight game, and it was interesting. I kind of picked it up like in the last 5 or 6 minutes of the game. Both Devin Booker and Steph Curry were on the bench. They both came off the bench at the same time, but clearly Devin Booker was in takeover mode from the moment that he stepped back on that floor in the fourth quarter to lead his team to the win. Devin Booker finishing with 32 points, another 7-assist performance to go along with 4 rebounds, as 2 of the 3 lead the Suns to their 13th win of the season. Now 13-10 are the Suns. It's a back-to-back, so the Brooklyn Nets are in town tonight. We anticipate tonight is the night that all 3 will play for the first time this season. Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and our guy Kevin Durant will all play for the first time. It'll also let's first hear from Bradley Beal on his return to the lineup.
1 second.
Brad, with those stints to start the quarter, what was the biggest difference between what worked in the fourth and then what didn't in the second?
Obviously, our approach to the game. I think our second unit, I was a part of that group. We weren't aggressive. We kind of let our foot off the gas, and their second unit kicked our ass. So in the second half, it was complete opposite. So that's coach challenged us at halftime, and that was the result. Yeah.
Book will often refer to them as junk defenses that you guys see throwing away. You and him saw that tonight. He saw a lot of it on Friday. Is there an extra bit of anticipation when you're seeing those and just knowing once you guys get healthy that that's not really an option anymore?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, hopefully teams will see how many easy open layups we got out of that, so they won't do that. I don't think teams do that too much more often. But, I mean, you got to make a decision, you know. Hopefully we get all our guys back when K gets back healthy. It's just another guy you got to account for, too. So it's good right now, obviously, but, you know, it's good to be able to help Book and relieve some of that stress from him being doubled and those jump defenses.
A little time to mesh. I mean, obviously everybody hasn't been together yet. I mean, do you look at it and say?
Not really, honestly. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but I don't think it'll take as long as a lot of people think it will. I think we're all very unselfish players, and we all have one goal in mind at the end of the day, is to win the game. So whatever that looks like, whatever it takes, everybody's kind of sacrificing, committed to doing that job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you noticed the haymaker from Draymond onto Nurk, was that kind of a spark for you guys, or how did you see that play?
I didn't see it, honestly. I'm not going to speak. I didn't see it, obviously. He got thrown out of the game, and it is what it is. Nurk is good. That's all I really care about.
Brad, how's the backfield, first of all?
Back is good. Back feels good.
Curious, just when you looked like it took a minute for you to find the spacing, to find the rhythm, but then you made a couple plays where, whether it's a pass or a shot, it was like, okay, that's there. Maybe when did you start to feel you're most comfortable or more comfortable in the game?
I made my first shot at it again.
And from there it was...
Man, this is like riding a bike, y'all. I've been doing this, 12 years now. It ain't gonna be too much different than what y'all seen in the past. It's just getting my wind back now and just you guys seeing me more. That's it.
All right. The incident at hand happened in the third quarter of this game. Draymond Green, and if you're watching on one of our many video streams, a reminder, we are video streaming today. We're still not back on Twitch. I got to get to that Twitch thing. We're still not back on Twitch, but we're on Facebook Live, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter.
Stop
Facebook
going to 2-hour lunches, David Kelly,
right,
and you'll have time
that
to do
I'm not
Twitch
invited
stuff.
to. I think that's our question of the day today. Have you ever been to a lunch that you thought you were invited to, but you actually were not invited to? That might be our question of the day. I'll put that up in the next hour. All right, so YouTube, Facebook Live, at Wildcats Radio 1290, Twitter at Wildcats 1290. So I'm going to pull it up for those of you that are watching on the screen, and we can kind of watch here what happened last night, and just watching the kind of the baseline in front of the Golden State bench here.
Beal just picked up his third foul. And now Green runs over Nurkic, and he'll be called for the foul, and they're going to take a look at this. See Jason Goebel indicating they will go to the monitor here. Nurkic is down in a heap. Green just plows right over Nurkic. And we'll see if there's anything unnecessary added to it.
Here we go. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, that's going to be
That's
a flagrant.
Yep, for
And now
sure.
they're going to just try to decide if they think it was excessive. It's going to be at least a flagrant one, could be a 2.
Which would be an ejection. Boy, that is a swipe across the face.
All right, are we tired of Draymond Green yet? I am tired of Draymond Green. I'm done. I'm done with these antics. I'm done with this craziness. And I grew up in the 80s. You know, back in when stuff like this happened a lot, but it was really more in the context of the game. It was like hard fouls and that kind of thing. A guy driving to the basket, you weren't going to just let him drive to the basket like they let the young man from Santa Clara do, like, ad nauseum in the fourth quarter. The Suns had this game wrapped up. And we'll talk about Brandon Pajimski, who I swear to God I thought was Nico Mannion when I first turned on the TV.
So every time I see the Warriors this year, because he just joined the Warriors this year, and every time I see him, I think that's Nico, like 30 pounds heavier and like 2 inches taller.
Yeah. Brandon Pajimski from Santa Clara. I turned it on, I'm thinking, oh, Nico's back with the Warriors? Kid looks just like Nico Mannion. So, of course, I have to go on Twitter and find out that that's not Nico because I'm not hearing his name when they announce the guys on the floor. And come to find out, I'm not the only one that believes this kid looks like Nico Mannion. In fact, one person tweeted, this is the player that we thought we were getting when we signed Nico Mannion.
Yeah,
that kid was pretty good last night.
He plays so hard. I mean, if you want to, I've watched a lot of Warriors games this year. He plays a lot like KJ Lewis here for the Arizona Wildcats. I mean, he just plays 100% every single second he's on the court. It's great.
Nico, of course, is over in Italy, I think, still.
Yeah,
He's in Italy.
yeah. Yep.
Do they still have his rights? I think the Warriors, do they?
I don't know. I believe I think there's obviously that runs out after a time, but I believe they still do, yeah.
Yeah, but this kid was just driving down the lane. Nobody really cared. Took a 13-point advantage down to 1 in the final 30 seconds, and the Suns had to make some free throws in order to win. But I'm tired of Draymond Green. I'm tired. He needs to be put in a timeout for a while. In the next hour, we will hear from Steve Kerr on Draymond Green's ejection. We will hear from Yusuf Nurkic, who took the punch or the flailing right arm, whatever you want to call it, from Draymond Green.
It was like a whirling backhand.
Whirling dervish.
Yeah.
Right.
Something you might have seen in a kung fu movie in the 1970s.
Oh, my goodness. But, yeah, it's time to put Green away for a little bit of while. Like I'm talking 10-plus games. 10-plus games in timeout for Draymond Green. What you say? 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 with J-Dub and Cricket. It's DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions reported I-10 and Grant reported on Grant Road at I-10. Other wrecks, so we've got clearing at Irvington and Country Club and southbound I-19 near the Irvington off-ramp. Road work, expect some restrictions and slowdowns, golf links and Camino Seco through the day today and then again tomorrow. 40 our overnight low with clear skies, 68 tomorrow and 68 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Big O Tires. 'Tis the season of savings from Big O Tires. Get up to $140 in rebate savings on select sets of 4 Michelin tires with paint installation. Hurry, offer ends January 7th. Details at BigOTires.com. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Start learning a new language today. Go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com. Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This season, the Cats will take on the Bruins, the Ducks, the Trojans, the Beavers, the Utes, the Buffs, the Huskies, the Cougs, the Cardinal, the Bears, and the School up north on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Do you need your home repiped? Having trouble with your water heater? Leaking toilet? Have you ever thought about an instant recorded seweroscopy? Then call Economy Plumbing Service at 885-3510. Because if water goes through it or to it, we do it. Economy Plumbing, 885-3510.
Royal Buick GMC is your destination for top trade value. Get an extra $5,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade at Royal. Plus, huge stackable savings on Buick and GMC models. Get into a new 24 GMC Terrain SUV starting from $21,990, or new 24 GMC Sierra Crew Cab starting at $29,990. How about the all-new Buick Envista starting from $23,495? and get 1.9% APR financing for 36 months on these and many more Buick and GMC models. Plus, all new Buicks are eligible for no payments for 120 days. See dealer for details. Trade-in must be used towards purchase of a new vehicle. All offers OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Must finance through GM Financial. Terrain G7829, Sierra G7741. Offers end 12/31/23. Bring your trade to Royal and stack up the savings. Now at Royal Buick GMC in the Tucson Auto Mall or RoyalTucson.com.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger. Because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, it's Floyd, the family man with the family plan. Outdated HVAC systems will drive up your electric bill, drain your wallet, and peace of mind. Save now at Goodfellas with no payments or interest till 2024. Get a 30% federal tax credit, up to $2,000 off qualifying heat pumps. Trust Goodfellas. We're locally owned with thousands of 5-star reviews. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Visit us at goodfellasac.com to schedule a no-cost estimate.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what? Central Northwest Tucson, duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
After video review, Green makes unnecessary and excessive contact to the face. The foul has been upgraded to a flagrant foul penalty 2, and Green has been ejected from the game.
There you go. When you hear excessive, that's it. Draymond Green is out.
See you, Draymond, and to be quite honest with you, that run up the tunnel, I'd like to not see him run back through a tunnel for about 10 to 12 games. I'm tired of his act, trying to choke people out, tried to throw a flailing punch at Yusuf Nurkic last night. It's just tired. It's a tired act. Go away. Go away. And Adam Silver needs to lay the hammer down on Draymond Green. 10 games, minimum. 10-game suspension for Draymond Green for his tired antics of brutality on the floor. Tired of it. Tired of him. Tired of that. Get him out of here.
You know why he's got such a long leash, right? He has more assists than Kyrie Irving. Right? I mean, like, that guy is a borderline Hall of Famer, and nothing to say with his obvious, bully mentality when he gets in situations like
Draymond, you believe, is a borderline Hall of Fame
without
player?
a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt.
Wow.
He's the best defender of the era. I mean, if you talk to anybody in the league, as far as the last 10, 12 years of NBA basketball, he's the most he can guard more players efficiently, and he's like kind of the quarterback of the defense more than anything. But I think his career average, bro, is like 6.5 assists per game.
Wow.
And obviously playing with Steph and Clay, you're going to get a lot of assists. Yeah. What I'm not talking about, I'm not saying anything positive. Don't get me wrong here. I'm not trying to shine positive light on Draymond Green right now. What I'm saying is the reason why they've given him leeway is because he's a all-star level player, right? And 4-time champion or whatever. If he was just the 12th guy on a bench, DK, and you were doing things like this, like he might be out of the league by now.
Right. All right, let's hear from Steve Kerr on his forward who is losing his mind as each game goes by.
Huge swing. We kind of felt good about, having him at the 5, spreading the floor. We got shooters out there. Obviously, changed the lineup around. We thought that could really get Steph some space, and Draymond could use his speed. You saw he got that layup the first play of the second half, and so I felt good about having him out there, and he lost his poise.
So Draymond's been ejected 3 times this season. Obviously, he's got the suspension. Who knows what's to come? How big a problem is just not only his unavailability tonight, but really parts of this season?
Yeah, we need him. We need Draymond, but he knows that. We've talked to him, and he's got to find a way to keep his poise and be out there for his teammates.
Coach, last time you talked about Draymond not crossing the line. What can be done to stop this from continuing to happen?
We'll keep working.
Steve, when does it become more of a detriment than a positive?
Draymond's still a hell of a player. Still a really good player. So we need him. If we're going to be a really good team, we need him.
Steve Kerr standing up for his guy. That's for sure. He's right. They do need him. Right now they're 10-13 and sitting on the outside of the playoffs. And we talked about Brandon. This kid's name is just Cheminsky, Pajinski.
Yeah,
Pajinski. Brandon Pajinski. We talked about him in the last segment. He played at the end of the game while Klay Thompson was chiseled to the bench.
Yeah, Klay's had some struggles the last couple of weeks, if not further. So the big news on Klay, just on a side note, is he's up for a contract extension, and they had some talks going over the summer about maybe like 2 years, 48. And apparently what I've read recently is those talks are no longer underway right now.
Yeah.
So he may not be in the long-term plans for the Warriors either.
2 for 10, 7 points in that game. And he did not play down the stretch in a game, like I said, was kind of looking like it wasn't going to be close, but got close in the end because of the young man out of Santa Clara who very much resembles Nico Mannion for the Golden State Warriors. But again, back to Draymond Green. We will wait to find out what the league has to say about this action. What did the man on the other end of his flailing right arm, Yusuf Nurkic, have to say about the whole thing?
Behind the play. I don't think what's going on with him, I don't know. Personally, I feel like that brother needed help. I'm glad he not trying to choke me, but at the same time, it had nothing to do with basketball, man. Like, I'm just out there trying to play basketball, they're swinging. I think we saw that often, but hope he, whatever he got in his life, will get better. So.
That brother needs help.
Whatever he's got going on in his life, I hope it gets better.
Right, exactly. That is too funny. I love it. That brother needs help. I hope whatever he's got going on in his life.
I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's not a mystery to me. Draymond Green's one of the biggest competitors I've ever seen on the basketball court. And so now that they're not good, they just won a championship, 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Proud group, obviously 4 titles, dynasty like the last 12 years or so. They're not good right now, DK. And clearly some guys, when they're ultra competitive and the team struggles, I'm not going to start naming names here, but I've seen guys lash out, not Draymond-esque, but there's an element to a guy who just does everything within his power to help a team win, and there's nothing you can do. It's a very futile effort, and Draymond's always had that bit of a chippy kind of outside the lines attitude when it comes, all the way back to his days, at Michigan State. So to me, it looks like a guy who, as you just said, hasn't been disciplined quite to the level that he should have been during his NBA career. He's been given too much of a leash because he's been a damn good player and needed for that team to win games. But here we are 12, 13 years in, and because they haven't disciplined him enough in the past, he clearly in his own mind, DK, thinks he can just do those kind of things, and it's no big deal again. But this is his 3rd suspension in the calendar year.
This year, yeah. We just start playing in October.
Right. 3rd suspension in the calendar year. Rumor is that the Commissioner Silver is going to get involved in this himself, and I would not be surprised to see a very lengthy, because, again, it builds. Ron Artest with the Malice at the Palace was because of past instances was the length of his suspension more so than just that solo incident. Draymond clearly has built up about as less, how do I even say this? He has the least cachet with the front office and the everybody in Silver's office as anybody in the league. So clearly this is going to be a lengthy suspension.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number for you to get in on this program. How many games do you want to see suspended or handed down, a suspension handed down to Draymond Green after his antics against Yusef Nurkic last night here in Arizona at the Footprint Center? It is a back-to-back for the Suns. They will play the Brooklyn Nets tonight, and it is the return of some of our favorite Suns that were on the championship team. Mikal Bridges is coming back. Cam Johnson will be back in the building. In fact, let's hear from Mikal Bridges on his return. First time he's returned to play in Phoenix since he was traded away last year.
It's been good. A little colder than I thought, but it's good. Saw some friends. Yeah, just really excited for the night.
Is it weird being back in this building and just kind of in a different concept, kind of walking through a different tunnel, and potentially you're going to be in a different locker room as well?
Yeah, it's crazy. When we first walked on the court, it kind of settled. It didn't hit me too hard on that one. I think I was kind of chilling, but towards the end of it, shooting on the court, being on the court again, and kind of going in the locker room. I walked in, I was like, okay, this one feels like it'd be on an opposing locker room. So, but I think tonight, when I walk in at night, I think it's really that's what I'm gonna know.
How many familiar faces are you expecting to see here tonight, and what's it going to be like as you walk back in to having to speak to so many people who loved you?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna see a lot of faces. It's gonna be great. I know everybody was great when I was here, so I know it's gonna be the same energy when I see them again. So just excited to see people who's happy, good people. It's gonna be fun.
Mikal, we hear all the time that you are just so big on the culture of this team. People always talk about how much fun you brought here. How excited are you to just see the fans and everyone that's just dying to see you tonight and play, and the player that you've always been?
Yeah, no, definitely excited. And usually I'm kind of not even like that. I'm kind of just super just locked in on the game and everything like that, which I still am, but I don't know, it's just a little bit different. Been here for so long, and just being here and embracing the fans and everybody here, it's I'm just excited to see a lot of people that I've seen since I've been here.
How strange is it to turn the team on and just see, obviously you guys aren't there, but Chris is gone, DA is gone, just how much the team has changed in a short time? Yeah,
it's crazy. It's just feels like a whole different team out there. Still got some guys there, but I think both of the leads and Book, so it's definitely different. And Josh, it's definitely different, but it's cool to watch, see him playing on the court. Still just brings back memories.
Yeah, Mikal Bridges, initially drafted by the Philadelphia 76ers with the 10th pick in the draft back in 2018, was immediately traded that night to the Phoenix Suns for Zaire Smith, and just became a part of the fabric of the Suns and a team that played its way into the championship back in 2021.
My favorite stat, which should be everybody's favorite stat, is the Cal stat, right? Mikal Bridges, DK, has not missed a basketball game since junior high school. So he played every single game in high school, every game in college, and every game since he's been in the NBA. They tried to have, during the trade last year, there was a question because he got traded, and there was a game but they hadn't cleared medical yet, and so they were going to maybe put a DNP, but they changed the rule. They looked a little deeper into it and made sure that he did not have a DNP in that situation because he was traded. It was outside of his control, but has never missed a game.
No, ever. I mean that's crazy.
Yeah, and he played. If you watch him play on both sides, because he might be the best two-way player in the league. Klay Thompson, we talked about him earlier. I think was the best two-way player in the league for quite a while there. After the Achilles injury, he's not quite as quick. But, I mean, Mikal Bridges is the best perimeter defender, and now that he's been unleashed with the Nets and has a lot more opportunities to score the ball. He's showing, I think, 48% clip, 24 points a game, something like that. I mean, towards the end of the season last year, he was up towards, right around KD numbers, who was putting up with the Brooklyn Nets. So, yeah, just a great all-around young player. He's still only 27 years old.
Led the Suns in minutes in 21-22, as well as 22-23. As you mentioned, played in 82 games in 18-19, played in 73 because of the shortened season in 20 due to COVID. 72 games in the shortened season of 21 due to COVID. 82 games in 22. They played an extra game, I believe, in 23. So he played in 83 games that year, and then 83 games last year, and has played in all 22 games so far this year. Mikal Bridges back in Phoenix with Cam Johnson. It is a 7 o'clock start tonight at the Footprint Center. If you want to come by the station, we can watch it here because we do get it here. I cannot watch it at home, however, because this is a local broadcast tonight.
But don't come tonight because go down to McHale.
Yes, go down to McHale because we've got women's basketball, and we're going to be getting much more into that later on in our show. You'll hear from Helena Puello in the next hour. You'll hear from Adia Barnes as well as Jada Williams as the Wildcats get set to take on the number 5 Texas Longhorns.
AC Green, by the way. I don't think that McHale's going to get close to that. You remember that record in the 80s? AC Green never missed a game ever as well. I think he played 1,200 consecutive games in the NBA, something to that
Iron
effect.
Man.
So, yeah, the Iron Man, AC Green.
For sure. All right, coming up, we're going to flip the focus to high school football and celebrate one of our state champions from here in southern Arizona. The Canyon del Oro Dorados are going to join us next. This is DK on the Sports Tip with JW Madden. Cricket as well, getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. NUREC reported Columbus and Speedway and Columbus. Also heads up Tanque Verde and Kolb Road and Tanque Verde traffic signals are malfunctioning. We also had that earlier collision that occurred eastbound I-10 frontage road near Grant Road. Also Irvington and Country Club. Overnight tonight, clear skies, 40 the low, 68 tomorrow, and 68 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples holiday deals mean amazing savings for the holiday season. Right now, save 50% on custom holiday cards and invitations, as well as custom photo gifts like mugs and calendars. Offer ends 12/16. Visit staples.com/print for more details. Have yourself a merry little holiday deal at Staples.
What a lot of people don't realize is the new Chevys at O'Reilly Chevrolet make great stocking stuffers, especially when you happen to own stockings the size of a garage. Our red tag sale is going on now, and it's big, much like the price you'll get for your old vehicle. Your trade has never been worth more than it is this holiday season. Check out our red tag deals at O'Reilly.com. Call 747-8000 or let us play Santa in person on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Find new roads today at O'Reilly Chevrolet.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Dell's holiday event is one of their biggest sales of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. It's the perfect time to upgrade any home, business, or gaming setup powered by Intel Core processors. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of huge savings and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Saguaro Harley-Davidson wants your bike. Call or visit our website to schedule an appointment or stop by today to receive an inspection and an offer. Whether you're looking to trade in or trade up or just looking for some extra money, we are prepared to make you a tempting offer. Don't deal with the hassle of selling it to a stranger. We're here to make the process quick and easy. Only at Saguaro Harley-Davidson or online at saguaroharley.com. That's saguaroharley.com. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles let you create your own delicious combo. Choose from a sausage biscuit, egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, and a medium hot coffee. But it's obvious which combo's the best. Sausage biscuit and small seasoned potatoes. Well, maybe it's the fresh cracked egg and cheese biscuit with a medium hot coffee. Or 2 savory sausage biscuits. Whichever you pick, you can't go wrong. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
The Saturday Showdown is back. It's a full weekend of football, starting on December 16th with an exclusive triple header live on NFL Network. 3 epic matchups all day Saturday. Watch back-to-back-to-back matchups, kicking off at 1 p.m. Eastern with Vikings Bengals.
Leaps at the goal line.
Followed by Steelers Colts, all the way into primetime with Broncos Lions.
Here we go. Coming up. 3, 2. We are just about an hour away from Arizona women's basketball here on Wildcats Radio 1290. U of A welcoming in the number 5 team in the country, the Texas Longhorns. Texas 10-0 on the season, coming off a big win on December the 3rd over the Yukon Huskies. Arizona counters tonight at 7-2. Their losses coming to Ole Miss and UNLV. This is the home part here in Tucson of a home-and-home that was initially played back in 2019, a game in which the Wildcats went down to Austin and knocked off the Longhorns on their home floor, and Ari McDonald scored a program record 44 points in that matchup. Going to be a different story tonight. Tough game again for a young Wildcats team against a powerful Longhorns program. We had a chance earlier this afternoon to catch up with the play-by-play man for the Texas Longhorns, Roger Wallace. Okay. So outro to break. Okay. Our thanks to Roger Wallace, the play-by-play man tonight for the Texas Longhorns. Let's get a break in here. When we come back, we'll have more for you, leading you up to Arizona and Texas here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
it is what it is, and we better get some experience fast.
Going in to play against a top 5 team. In the past, you've always said that once you get to top 5, it's a different level. Top 3, it's, that's a different level. You, as a team like this, you guys haven't played a team like that. I know last time out when you played Texas, the former players that I've talked to said you had a certain message that was the same message all the time. And are you giving that message, which is, doesn't matter if they're ranked, doesn't matter, you just go play your game, and that's it. Is that the same message you're giving them today?
Yeah, I think you don't want to get too high or too low because then it's more stress. Players have so much stress as it is and have pressure from their families, from outside influences. So you just want to approach every game the same and be consistent. I think no game's too big, no game's too little. I think you learn that now, like we learned that at UNLV. So I think that you have to approach everything the same, and we know they're good, but we know everybody's beatable. And like, every team has weaknesses. Like, what are their weaknesses? And I think you approach it like that, and you try to exploit that. The great thing is that we're at home. We're gonna have a great crowd tomorrow, so you just give it. You do your best, and like things happen the way they're supposed to happen, and you just prepare and get better. But it's a process. We always say it's not a sprint; it's a marathon. So we're in that marathon, and we're getting better, but we are improving. We're not taking steps backwards, and when we have lost or had a tough loss, we've bounced back and we've done better. So they're a really good team, and we're a good team too, and we're playing at home. So I'd rather play at home than at Texas. In front of 10,000 people, I'd rather play here in front of 10,000. So I think it's going to be fun, and at the end of the day, it's great experience for our young players. You get to see what it's like to play a top 5 team. We've been there. We've been a top 5 team, and you have more pressure when you're a higher ranked team. I've been in that situation because you're expected to win, and that's hard. But I think overall, winning is hard. It's hard to put teams together. It's hard to have new players. It's hard to retain young players. It's just what basketball is, and I think this is the hard stuff is the fun stuff.
Struggling like you are from behind the arc, only shooting 25%, do you look for more 2 opportunities in the offense to maybe try to take some of that?
Absolutely, yes. And then I think it's funny because you're open for a reason usually, so that doesn't mean you shoot. And like as a player, as a competitor, you're like, I'm open, I'm going to shoot it. But it's like, no. As a coach, it's funny. As a coach, you're like, well, that's not the best shot. Let's get this. Well, you don't have to settle for threes. If that's not your strength, you play to your strength. So our strength's inside. So we have to pound the ball inside. We have to get to the paint, and that's what we're good at. Later, we're not going to shoot 25%, but I'm surprised it's 25. It was like 19 for a while. But we're going to get better. But are we going to be a 37% three-point shooting team? We're not. That's not who we are. So you have to find ways to get points in other ways, and that's what we'll do. Like, do I want us to take 23s? Absolutely not. And if you look at a team like Texas, they don't. They take their mid-range shots. They probably take 5 threes. Like, they don't take a lot either. So you do what you do well, and that's what you work on. But, yeah, I don't want us living and dying by the 3 because we're not going to win games like that. We'll win games by moving the ball, running offense. Like, we don't have to play so many possessions because we don't have such a deep roster. And then we do what we do well, and then we're better inside right now.
My father founded St. Jude Children's Research Hospital because he believed no child should die in the dawn of life. In 1984, a patient named Stacy arrived, and it began her family's touching story that is still going on today.
Childhood cancer. It's just hard. Stacy passed on Christmas Day of 1986. There is no pain like losing a child, but St. Jude gave us more years to love on her each day.
You can join the battle to save lives. For just $19 a month, you'll help us continue the life-saving research and treatment these kids need now and in the future.
I remember as a child walking the halls of St. Jude and watching my sister fight for her life. We never imagined that we would come back. And then my son, Charlie, was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma.
I'm thinking we already had a catastrophic disease in our family. Not my grandson, too.
St. Jude has helped push the overall childhood cancer survival rate from 20% when it opened to 80% today. Join with your credit or...
What do you, a player that we really haven't talked about much is Sally. So how have you seen her grow so far? I know that she's really active when she's out there. Her hands are all over, and especially on like the offensive boards. Like she'll get a lot of putbacks or a lot of, she'll get some rebounds that then you can turn into a positive, right?
Yeah, Sally's great. Sally's tough, one of the toughest kids on the team. She's played through some injuries. She does whatever I ask. She wants to win. She plays for us, the 2, 3, 4. She'll guard whoever. She's physical. She brings a lot. For us, she can be the X factor. She's very, very important for tomorrow and very important moving forward because we need her. She could be a starter. She can come off the bench. I like her off the bench some because she's a good scorer off the bench, and she gives us some experience with other lineups. She's smart. She's a really good passer. She's improved on her three. She's improving on finishing around the rim. But I love her game. I love what she brings, and I love coaching her. So I think that she's even going to be better as the teams get better. And she can score, and she brings us a lot. And I just love her toughness and physicality that we need in our game. So, and for her, I was teaching her a lot of positions. So we're trying to focus on a couple where she can play and be at ease because it's a different language. It's harder. But think about Solly. Last year, she missed half the year. So she hasn't played a full year in a while. So for her, I think is, there was COVID, and last year she was stuck in Mali with a visa situation. So now it's going to be her first time for playing out if she's in shape. If you look at her from when she got here and from now, everybody on our team has improved. Chris Allen's done a tremendous job. If you look at our team, every single person, including coaches, we've really taken it seriously, and we've worked really hard to get everybody to these points. So Solly looks completely different than when she got here. And Brea, everybody is stronger, moves better, and just overall healthier.
Played a role in her adjustment here to Tucson?
Yeah, it's funny. I didn't even know till later that they grew up. Like, she never had mentioned that to me. Her and Umar, they grew up together, like in the same city. So they've known each other since I think they were like 5 years old. So I think he was happier than anybody that she was coming. He was happier than her because he was like, "You're gonna cook for me," and it was funny. I didn't, because she's like a good cook, so she cooks her traditional food with him. And I said, I didn't even know that until on the visit. I thought he was just flirting with her or something. I was like, "What are you doing over here?" He's like, "I've known her," and she never said anything. So that was a great moment. I was like, "You could have helped recruit her then." But yeah, so they're both happy. She hangs out with him sometimes, and it's just good to have a familiar face. But what a coincidence! Small. This basketball world is small.
Everybody healthy?
No, that's going to be the million-dollar question. No, everybody is not healthy. We'll have some people out, but that's just kind of what it's been like. And it's random stuff. I've never, like, since I've been a head coach, I think I've had like one or two major injuries ever, but not even. I never even had an ACL till this year, because I think we do a really good job of balancing and their loads and not overworking people. And then this year, there's been like, it's random, a concussion, an ankle, or a practice where his elbow hits somebody, or someone collides. It's just been really weird stuff. And nowadays, if I say my bun's too tight, I could probably be out with a concussion. So it's just different days. It's different times than when I grew up.
Multiple people that won't play tomorrow?
No, I think, no, there won't be multiple people. We have a short bench anyways, but like Erin's still out, like working her back in. It's just some small injuries like that. But it's just kind of, it is what it is. Everybody's banged up this time of year probably. So, well, thank you. Have a good day.
Breaking news. If you're taking metformin or Ozempic, you
2. We are just about an hour away from Arizona women's basketball. The ladies welcoming in the number 5 Texas Longhorns for a meeting at McHale Center, 7 o'clock tip-off. I'm David Kelly. Let's hear from the head coach of the Arizona Wildcats, Adia Barnes, as her team gets set for this big task tonight here at home. And then, 3, 2, 1. That is Adia Barnes, the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats. Let's get another break in here. When we come back, we'll chat with Roger Wallace, who will call this game tonight for the Texas Longhorns radio network. It's Arizona and number 5 Texas at McHale Center. Tip-off coming up at 7 o'clock. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290. Three, 2. Getting you set for Arizona and... I can't. Yeah, it's going over the stream. It's going over the stream. It's only taking my voice on the stream right now. So whatever, just take it back to... this Evan Greer, and then I go back and I was watching my tape, and I was like, it's got to be number 8. He's got to be wearing number 8. To walk me through like the jersey change and how that all came about.
So we had an injury early on in the year. Sean Young, Grant's little brother, and I had to step up my role on offense. I had to play like more running back and fullback, so I had to switch numbers so I was eligible to carry the ball.
So now I understand that's going to be a primary role for you next year. Are you ready to be the successor to Cade and Luke next season?
I'm going to try my best. I think I just need to work and keep up what we're doing, and we'll be successful.
I mean, how do you not? I mean, you look at the running back history. I mean, Evan, you're stepping into a role. I mean, we're talking about a Kadeem Carey. We're talking about Stevie Rocker. We're talking about Caden Luke. I mean, you're stepping into a pretty important role in this program. I mean, what do you think about when you look at those legends of CDO that have been in that role before you?
It's definitely some big shoes to fill, definitely some work to be put in. I just got to keep my nose to the grindstone and just keep pushing and keep working.
Both you guys kind of grew up around this program, going to games as kids. I mean, what was that like? Or were you around, watching the Dorados, as preteens and 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds?
Yeah, when I was in middle school, we came to games. My dad came to CDO, so it's definitely been like a tradition and a thing to come and watch.
Evan Greer and Grant Young joining us from the Canyon del Oro defense. Hey, Coach, give me one story about each of these kids that you're going to remember about them as being their head coach.
I'll start with Evan, and one of the things that hasn't come up that, Evan on about the 4th play of the state championship game broke his collarbone.
Oh, my God.
And at the time, we didn't know it was broken. He didn't know it was broken and played the entire rest of the game. He had 2 carries early in the game, and then eventually he was like, Coach, and we saw him really hanging his shoulder, and we're like, man, well, we can't give him the ball anymore. But he finished out the entire game, like he said, on that 3rd down, pushing the quarterback out of the end zone. But to go through and gut through the whole game, usually at half it starts aching on you, wearing on you, and and then we come to find out that over the next 2 days that it was a broken collarbone. So he's in a sling right now here, sitting next to me, and but to gut out that performance for his team. Says so much about how much determination that he had. And, when we were in the all-state meeting, he was a unanimous selection at DN. Everybody knew who he was. You got all these guys getting scholarships and doing this things. Here's this what are you, about 6'1", 6 foot? Yeah, about 6 foot, 200 pound kid that just took over our conference and our state at that position. And what he does, me and Coach McKee talk about it all the time, and we watch video. What he does, not just getting sacks and doing those, but the plays he makes maybe behind the line of scrimmage on those tackles for loss are pretty amazing. So excited for him to have a bigger role, but he was essential to what we do. Now, and we have talking a little bit about both of these guys. The little joke going on that Evan Greer is the only one who didn't have an interception for the D line. I know I mentioned that earlier, but for Grant to take that bad boy back,
he had the strip sack against Micah Mountain, right?
Yeah, not an interception though. But yeah. He's had a couple strip sacks throughout the year. Don't get me wrong; he's had his share of T.J. Watt. Coach McKee calls him T.J. Watt Jr. If he's in the, we think he might be related to the Watt family, but for Grant to seal the deal and kind of get that interception, but everything he did before that too. He was also our long snapper. He got second in the state at long snapping. Wow. But when I put him up there, the Yuma Catholic coach said, "Hey, is that the kid who made a great play and took that ball back for the interception?" We were like, "Yeah, he long snaps, but he's a defensive end." And Grant was also the state he's on the state championship baseball team, was their first baseman last year, so he knows what it's like to play in a big game and make a big play and do it in two sports. And it's a great way to end his career here at CDO and with another ring on his finger. So excited for both these young men, but this might go down as one of the best defenses we've ever had, comparing it to 2009. But from the defensive front to our linebackers to our secondary, and they all started with these guys up front.
All right, for each of you, Grant and Evan, give me maybe a couple of guys on your defense that you really want to shout out for their performances this year.
I really want to shout out Aaron Ramirez. I think early in the year we didn't really see somebody at nose that was going to get the job completely done, but Aaron really stepped up and he made plays happen that I couldn't even believe that happened. I mean, it was just unreal.
And I like to say Ryan Madsen, I think just because of his role on offense, he's a huge role on offense. To come back and play the other side of the ball as well is something that few people can do.
Yeah. And then Dave, Aaron Ramirez is all of, what do you guys say, 5'6", and he weighs about, what does he weigh, about 180?
Yeah, like 180.
And he's a nose guard on a state championship team. So that shows how tough he is. So yeah. That's a great pick, Grant.
Absolutely. Grant, what's better, winning a baseball state championship or a football state championship?
Man, you can't put me in that situation, but I'm gonna probably. I mean, I've done it twice with baseball. Probably for football, man, it's what you buy way harder in with football. It's just a team sport. Everyone's working together. You can't do it without the guy next to you, So it's really just something that you got to take a lot of pride in, and I think our whole team did this year.
Now, do you immediately move on to baseball now and start getting ready for that here coming up in a few months?
Yeah. I've been working out, hitting, throwing, doing all the stuff to get me right in tune for baseball.
Now, and Evan, just with the injury that you suffered, did you realize how bad you were hurt? I mean, what was kind of the feeling there, and just kind of how you powered through that?
I knew it hurt like after the what was it, fifth play?
Yeah.
But during halftime, I had to bandage it up, and it started to really hit me. But I just knew last game you had to power through. There was no excuses.
Yeah, I mean that's what you got to do for your team. I mean, it's unbelievable season that you guys had there. And we congratulate all of you, Evan and Grant and Dustin for the state championship and bringing that home for Canyon del Oro. Guys, we appreciate you taking a few moments to join us today. Enjoy this with your classmates. I'm sure that, and in fact, let me ask each one of you before we let you go, Evan and Greer, what's the craziest thing anybody said to you in school over the course of the last week about being state champion?
Man, I don't know if there's one thing that I can really tell you, but I can tell you that it brought the whole school together. The whole school is just all smiling, everyone's having a good time, all the administration. It's like weight off the shoulder for some reason, but it just pays off.
It just like brings the whole school up as a whole. It brings us all together, and it's definitely a positive thing for our campus.
Outstanding. Hey, guys, we appreciate the time. Best of luck to you as you guys continue on with the rest of this school year.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Thanks for having us on today. Appreciate it.
The Canyon del Oro Dorados, state champions for a fourth time in program history. Coming up at the 5 o'clock hour, we'll get back to our preparation for Arizona women's basketball. The ladies taking on number 5 Texas tonight at McHale Center. Helena Puello will join us for a conversation, the fifth-year guard who will lead her Wildcats out on the floor tonight to try to get a big upset in this early part of the 23-24 season. With cricket and J-Dub, first of all, cricket's going to get you home, then join us after 5 because cricket's got tickets to the Roadrunners. Listen for the cue to call, but first, here she is with your traffic and weather.
Me, I've always tried my best to defend Draymond Green. I've been speaking with Draymond Green since he was a star at Michigan State. I know him a little. This is a different dude. He's built differently. A lot of the reason why he does what he does is that that's what got him where he is. However, he's often over the line. And as much as I have defended him, there is no defending what he did last night when he went upside Yusuf Nurkic's head. Availability is your best ability, and this dude is once again going to be unavailable when they need him most. Draymond, you're making it very difficult for me to defend you. And no, it doesn't matter that it wasn't intentional. Intent doesn't matter here, just contact. Get ready to sit out again.
Has someone in your family lost a job recently, and now you can't afford your mortgage payment? Or do you have a rental property and your tenants aren't paying you? We can come to the rescue and pay you cash for your home immediately. Yes, sell your home and get cash all over the phone without dealing with real estate agents or having to waste time showing your home to lukewarm buyers. You don't need to lose your house to foreclosure. If you have equity in your home, we'll buy your home and give you cash within days, all in a simple over-the-phone and virtual process. Call now before your situation gets worse. Sell a home you can't afford or just need anymore and get the cash you need today. Call this number now.
Call 800-527-4903. That's 800-527-4903. 800-527-4903. Again, 800-527-4903.
Paid for by Airtime Media.
1290 has earned the right to be named after the Arizona Wildcats. That's why we grind harder than anyone else in Tucson to cover the Cats. 1290 is the home of the Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
We return now to the holiday shopping adventures of Eugene Snarkle and his best friend Doug.
Eugene, it looks like we waited a bit too long to get our shopping done. These shelves are pretty empty.
Yeah, Doug, looks like everything got sucked up into that great big cyber savings vortex. But I've got another great idea.
We interrupt Eugene's great ideas for this commercial message.
Trying to get on the road but need some maintenance or repairs to get your car, truck, SUV, or sleigh road trip ready?
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care has some fantastic year-end savings, like $50 back on any $250 purchase. When you pay with your Jack Furrier card, you save big.
Whether it's tires, maintenance, or auto repair, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care has you covered. We can get your vehicle road trip ready and save you some big bucks.
So, Eugene, what was that great idea of yours anyway?
I was thinking about getting everybody a giant-sized bag of Cheezos.
Thanks, Eugene. And for everyone else, there's Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, here to get you there.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We have the Arizona Wildcats covered on game day like no one else, with the biggest pre- and post-game coverage in the Pac-12. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what? Central Northwest Tucson, duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
Third hour of the program today, getting you set for Arizona women's basketball tonight at McHale Center. U of A and Texas coming up. The 5th-ranked Longhorns are in the building. We're going to chat with Helena Puello in this hour. Helena, a 5th-year guard, 6-foot senior, actually a graduate she is, because she has gotten her degree, her undergraduate degree. Helena's only averaging 4 points and 3 rebounds, 4 assists so far. She does stuff the stat sheet, 4 assists and 3 steals. But the Wildcats, if they're going to have any success this year, have got to get Helena Puello going offensively. She is only scoring 4 points per game. She's had a game where she did not score any points this season. You cannot win in games where Helena Puello and the likes of Brea Cunningham, who I believe they both did not score any points in that game against UNLV. You're not going to win too many games when those 2 young ladies don't score points for you. So we got to get Helena Puello going offensively. We will talk to Helena coming up here shortly. But right now, it is that time that you have all been waiting for. Guess who's back? Guess who's the back? Cricket. Cricket's got tickets. Cricket's got tickets. Cricket, where are you sending the people today?
Well, we got your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to see the Tucson Roadrunners take on the Abbotsford Canucks at the Tucson Arena this Friday, December 15th. Face off at 7. So I'm going to let you skate away with these tickets. If you're caller 4, we're going to do some skating. Caller 4 right now to 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. The Roadrunners begin the 3-game homestand on Friday night against Abbotsford. And caller number 4, you're going to the game, 520-848-1290. If you do not win tickets from us, you can buy them at TucsonRoadrunners.com, and I'll have another 4-pack to give away on Thursday.
Do you know where Abbotsford is?
Is it Canada?
It is in Canada.
Okay.
It is in Canada. In fact, we discovered that there are 2 Abbotsfords.
That's hard to say. I think is the other one?
There's one in Quebec, but there is one in British Columbia. It is just across the border.
Oh.
If you continue up Interstate 5, which goes, all the way from Mexico to Canada.
All right.
You just get on Interstate 5. You can go to 3 countries. So it is right across the border in British Columbia. So about 2 hours. Actually, it's about 3 hours north of Seattle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so just across the border. So it looks like it's about, I'll have to see exactly how much south of Vancouver this is.
I'm learning something today.
You are.
Thank you for that.
We are about an hour and a half southeast of Vancouver.
Oh, okay.
Is Abbotsford, and that they are the parent, or they're the minor league club of the Vancouver Canucks, who are in the NHL. And that's what we were talking about that earlier, how a lot of the NHL hockey clubs, the Major League Hockey clubs, have their top affiliate clubs close by. So Vancouver and Abbotsford are only an hour and a half.
We forgot to bully the callers into making sure hockey fans only call. But we got lucky.
We did not bully. So thank you very much, Cricket.
Well, you're welcome.
All right. I hear you've got more tickets to give away tomorrow.
Thursday. Yep.
Thursday. Look out. Cricket's going to be back with more tickets on Thursday.
Yes, sir.
Have a great evening.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Let's talk to Patricia. You are on DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290. Patricia, you are caller number 4. You are going to see the Roadrunners on Friday night.
Woohoo! Sounds great.
Outstanding. Are you a hockey fan, Patricia?
My son is the hockey fan.
Oh.
He's a Penguins fan, Sid Crosby. But we like to watch the Roadrunners and the Coyotes. In fact, he had the Coyotes and the Penguins on last night watching it. So we will follow it pretty close.
Yeah, it was
Follow it pretty close.
not a good night for the Yotes last night. They've lost four games in a row. They lost in Pittsburgh. So your son, how old is your son?
He's 35.
Okay, so he's an older guy.
He's an older guy.
Yeah, there you go. So did you guys grow up in Pittsburgh? How did he become a Pittsburgh Penguins fan?
No, I really don't know. He just suddenly started watching hockey when he was done with college. So, but it's a good sport. I think he likes it because there's not a whole lot of prima donnas like with some of the other sports.
Oh, there you go. Outstanding. So he's a Sidney Crosby fan.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
So you're taking him and who else? Because you have 4 tickets.
Probably my husband, and I don't know. We haven't picked a fourth yet.
Okay. Does your husband like hockey?
He has gone up to the games with my son when they were playing in Glendale. When the Penguins would come to town and play the Coyotes, they would go up to Phoenix.
Nice.
And Glendale and watch them. So yes.
Have they seen a game at the Mullet Arena yet? I want to go see a game at the Mullet.
No, they haven't been up there. It's too close to ASU country. So.
Oh yeah, we don't want to do that. Lord forbid. All right, Patricia will hang on the line. J-Dub will get all your information, and you can pick up those tickets anytime before 5 o'clock on Friday. Enjoy the game on Friday night.
Thank you very much. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, too. That is Patricia taking her son, who is a big Penguins fan, as well as Coyotes and Roadrunners fans, to the game Friday night to see Tucson take on Abbotsford. So now we know where Abbotsford is. There is an Abbotsford, Quebec. Kind of like, we found out a few weeks ago there's a Las Vegas, New Mexico. There's a Las Vegas, New Mexico. There's a Las Vegas, Nevada. Well, there's an Abbotsford, Quebec, and there's an Abbotsford, British Columbia. And the Abbotsford Canucks play in Abbotsford, British Columbia, which is an hour and a half southeast of Vancouver and 3 hours north of Seattle. That is your geography lesson for today. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Okay, I've got a sweet deal for you. How about this? Sweet deals. We love sweet deals. This Friday, Rusty's Family Restaurant and Sports Grill. You can get a $50 gift certificate for just $25. This sweet deal will go on sale Friday morning at 8:30 a.m. Just head on over to WildcatsRadio1290.com for that sweet deal. Rusty's Family Restaurant and Sports Grill offers a fun vibe with a great happy hour atmosphere located at Grant and Silverbell. Rusty's has more than 45 TVs broadcasting all of your favorite sports. You can head on over there tonight and watch the Suns game and see the Big Three for the first time. I remember Rusty's was happening during the finals a few years ago. They've even got booths with personal TVs at Rusty's. Enjoy a large selection of bottled beer, draft beer, wine, all your favorite cocktails. Head on over and find more about Rusty's at rustystucson.com. This is a sweet deal happening on Friday, 8:30 a.m. You can get a $50 gift certificate for just $25. And I mentioned our website, wildcatsradio1290.com. Don't forget, you can stream our show on our website. Just head on over there. And don't forget, download our app. Take 1290 with you wherever you go. Text app. You can do this now over your phone. Pick up your phone and text app to 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. Text app. We will send you the link to download that Wildcats Radio 1290 app on your phone. Does not get any better than that. All right. Talking about the Coyotes. They did not win last night. So that's now 4 straight losses for the Coyotes, as they fell in Pittsburgh by a score of 4-2. It was the second night of a back-to-back. They had lost 5-2 on Monday night in Buffalo. So things not going well, very well right now for the Coyotes. But they're coming home, and so let's hope things will get better when the guys get back from the road. They're going to open up a 3-game homestand, so a chance to regroup. But defensively, they have just not been playing well right now. They were outshot in that game last night, 44-21 by the Pittsburgh Penguins. They've had some injuries they've been dealing with. Barrett Hayton is out. Jack McBain is out, and that's kind of crippled things a little bit to Andre Turigny's lineup. He had Zach Sanford out there trying to find a spark, and it just didn't happen. The defense just the last few nights has not been very good, and not to mention that the Coyotes had to play 3 games in 4 nights on this road trip. So that, too, has been a little bit of a challenge for them. Fatigue starting to set in at the end of a road trip. And so the fellas now will head home and get some home cooking, and they were playing well. Again, last time they were home, they were playing extremely well. They were knocking off former Stanley Cup champions. They knocked off the Vegas Golden Knights. They knocked off the Tampa Bay Lightning. They took down, who was the other champion? The Colorado Avalanche. They took down the Colorado Avalanche. So things were going well. The last time the Arizona Coyotes were at home, they've fallen now back to 500 at 13-2. Right now in the Central Division, they are sitting in 5th place. They are 8 points. Not a lot of points, though. They're only 8 points behind front-running Colorado. Colorado leads the Central Division at 17-19. Dallas in second at 16-18, 35 points. Winnipeg at 34 points. Nashville at 32. And the Coyotes come in at 28 points through their first 28 games of the season. So on this homestand coming up, which will start Friday night, it'll be San Jose, and it'll be a back-to-back Friday, Saturday. So they'll play San Jose. They'll get a rematch against Buffalo on Friday night, and then Ottawa will come to town on Tuesday before the fellas head back out onto the road for 2 games heading into Christmas away from the Mullet Arena. They will take on San Jose on December the 21st in San Jose, and then head over to Colorado and take on the Avalanche on December the 23rd before their break for Christmas. All right, 520-848-1290 is the number to get on the program. We are going to chat with Helena Puello coming up here in this hour as we take you up to Arizona women's basketball. The ladies getting set to take on the Texas Longhorns tonight. Helena Puello, again, got to find a way to get Helena Puello going. It's critical to this offense that Helena Puello gets going. She's 10th among active Division I players in steals. She can defend. She can distribute. But this is a young team that, as they get into this very difficult Pac-12 conference, is going to need Helena Puello to score, to take more shots. Adia Barnes had said that she wanted to see Helena Puello take like 15 shots per ball game. In fact, in her press conference this week, she said that really there's only one player on this team that has the green light to shoot from anywhere at any time without reprimand. Without reprimand. There are not too many players who can just shoot without reprimand. But Helena Puello is one of those players. And when Adia said that at the beginning of the season, I thought, Helena Puello has never been a volume shooter. That's just, it hasn't been something that's in her mentality. How are you going to get her to just turn that on in one season? Well, through the first 8 games, we have not seen that. And I don't know, maybe Helena will say, okay, I'm just going to start taking shots. I just don't know if that's going to happen. She's never been a volume shooter. I just never saw her suddenly becoming a volume shooter who's going to take 15 shots a game.
Some players you can have a green light because they are Steph Curry. Other players have a green light from the coach because the coach knows that they take great shots within the offense, right? So it might be that Coach Barnes wants Puello to have a green light because she trusts her decision-making in those situations, when to take shots and when not to force it.
Yeah. I mean, she trusts her. There's no question about that. It's just a question of whether Helena wants to do it.
Shoot more.
Yeah. She's got to pull the trigger. Only shooting 19% from 3, 4 points a game. That's got to improve. You've got to have Helena Puello in double figures for this team to have a chance of finishing in the top half of the Pac-12. We'll hear from her next. TK on the Sports Tip, getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather is Cricket.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. New collision reported Oracle northbound Oracle at Rudisill. Got some slowdowns on the westbound side of I-10 approaching Ruthroff. Crashes also reported Kolb Road in Irvington, Fort Lowell and Stone Avenue, Roger and Stone, and a crash in the foothills at Sabino and Cloud, Sabino Canyon and Cloud. And also do expect some backups for traffic on Sunrise Drive. To the east of Campbell, this is due to traffic signal work, and then road crews will be back at it again tomorrow and then again on Friday. Clear skies, 40 the low, 68 tomorrow, and 66 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Boost Infinite.
Boost Infinite's new wireless technology gives you 3 networks for the price of 1 and better service at a lower price. Switch today. Visit boostinfinite.com. That's boostinfinite.com.
Boost. Wendy's Peppermint Frosty and Frosty Cream Cold Brew make the perfect gift for anyone in your life. Especially for you. Yeah, this year you're sitting on your own lap and getting yourself what you want. Finally. And if you need a little more pep in your step, get yourself a refreshing Peppermint Frosty Cream Cold Brew. Or you can give it to your mom. Whatever.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Vanilla Frosty is temporarily unavailable.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The colors of this holiday season are green and red, which is perfect because right now at O'Reilly Chevrolet, we're having a red tag sale and you can save lots of green. The best news, your current vehicle has never been worth more than it is right now. So this holiday season, give us a call at 747-8000 or go to O'Reilly.com. Or better yet, see us in person on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Find new roads and something new for the holidays that will last for years to come at O'Reilly Chevrolet.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Staples and HP want you to have a happy Holla deal. That's right, Holla deal. Now, during Staples Holla deals, you can save up to $115 on the HP Smart Tank 6001 all-in-one printer with up to 2 years of original HP ink right in the box. Plus, find savings of up to 40% on select HP computers and monitors. Happy Holla deals from Staples and HP, America's most trusted printer brand. Smart Tank offer ends 12/23. HP Tech offers end 1/6/24. Visit staples.com/HP for details.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles let you create your own delicious combo. Choose from a sausage biscuit, egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, and a medium hot coffee. But it's obvious which combo's the best. Sausage biscuit and small seasoned potatoes. Well, maybe it's the fresh cracked egg and cheese biscuit with a medium hot coffee. Or 2 savory sausage biscuits. Whichever you pick, you can't go wrong. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
They say time flies like a sparrow.
And fruit flies like a banana. We're off to a great start.
If you two don't mind, I'd like to tell our customers about something they won't do in 2024.
I'm not doing a lot of things.
Like changing your socks.
Guys, I'm talking about no payments or interest for a full year on a new system.
Oh, people are going to like that.
You should tell them.
As I was saying, Alaskan AC can install a brand new heating and air system and have no payments or interest for a year.
365 days.
12 months.
You'll get all the comfort, and you won't write a check for a whole year.
Ha! Ron still writes checks.
He's so old, the first picture of him was an oil painting.
You guys having fun?
I never have fun.
I'm having a little fun.
This is big. With approved credit, get a spanking new furnace and AC system. No payments or interest for a year.
Spanking new?
Ron talks old-timey.
Schedule your appointment today, whenever you want, online at alaskanac.com.
You know how we Wildcats love our games. And there's no place better, closer, or safer to game than Desert Diamond Casinos. Filled with hundreds of the newest, loosest slots, dozens of your favorite table games, and superior food and beverage options. Desert Diamond is the #1 destination for your free time fun festivities. Bear down for the best time in Tucson. Go to Desert Diamond Casinos. Go Cats!
3 little words no parent wants to hear.
My tummy hurts.
And it always seems to happen at the worst times. Like in the middle of the morning rush, when you still have homework to check and lunches to pack, and of course, you're already late for work. Luckily, there's Pepto Kids. Pepto Kids chewables provide fast relief for common stomach issues, turning those 3 words into these 3 words.
I feel better.
Bad time for stomach upsets? Good time for Pepto Kids chewables. Fast relief for little tummies. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290. It's the 5 o'clock hour, and it's time for your Arizona Insiders.
Oh, sweet!
Each weekday, Wildcats Radio 1290 brings you all the latest news and opinions of U of A basketball. So bear down, Tucson, and let's talk Arizona basketball. Our Arizona Insiders are brought to you by Coors Light, official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. There's nothing like game day in Arizona.
It is the Arizona Wildcats and the Texas Longhorns on the women's basketball floor tonight at McHale Center. Tip-off coming up at 7 o'clock. Our coverage will begin in about a little over an hour, 6:45. With Derek Palmer down at the arena. Had a chance to catch up with fifth-year guard Helena Puello. Helena came to the United States, did not speak the language, but is leaving a graduate of this fine University of Arizona. And had a chance to ask Helena just about that, what it means to her to have come to this country and been able to get a college degree.
I mean, it really means a lot to me. I feel like home here now. So after these 5 years, I really feel like a really big family here. And for me, family means everything, because as a kid, I always wanted to come to the States and play here. So enjoying it.
When you look back on that decision and having to make that decision to come across to another country, how scary was that back, I guess, when you were like 17, 18 years old?
I was so scary. I think it took me like more than a month to like make the decision that, okay, I want to come to the States. I know it's just going to be hard for me because of the language, of like everything, class, everything. So, but I mean, now I feel really proud of myself after these 5 years here. So I'm just really happy to be here.
When you look back on that first month here, so September of whatever it was 5 years ago, do you laugh about things? It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I was that person, or that I couldn't do this and that kind of thing. What are things you look back on about that first month here at the U of A?
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of memories. I sometimes just laugh, but like I think just everything that it takes to be now the person and the player that I am today. So I think I just took it like as a learning lesson, just like to be like that. But yeah, I mean, I think it's really hard for me to come here and do all that. But after these 5 years, I feel like family. So
Helena Puello joining us, Arizona Wildcats guard, graduate now of the University of Arizona, playing in her 5th season. Adia was saying that you turned down an opportunity to go play pro. Why did you do that? Why did you want to come back here and play another year?
I think for me, being from a different country, I feel we don't have all these kind of opportunities here. A lot of players back in Spain, they will love to come here. All these, all the facilities, like everything that we don't have there. So I just really want to enjoy until the last day here. So because I know I always can go back to my country and like play there. So I just really want to do that now here and just be here and really enjoying it until the last day.
What was I guess, I remember Adia said last year when she first met you, you wouldn't even say 2 or 3 words, the first time she interacted with you. What's allowed you to get out of that shell? Just kind of, growing up more, just feeling more comfortable over here? Was there any specific thing that you attached on to that really helped you grow living here in the United States?
Yeah. Years I feel really more comfortable now, and also because of the coaches, Salvo really helped me a lot with the language and also Adia. So, and also learning from every player, so that's what takes me to be the person I'm the player today.
What made you first pick up a basketball back in Spain?
I started playing basketball because of my brother.
Mary said the same thing. It was her brother.
He was playing basketball before, but I was also playing soccer, and I really like it.
Oh.
I was doing the goalkeeper, and I love it. But then I just changed sports. So.
All right. Do you ever try to get out on the soccer field with the girls here and put the gloves on again? Or?
I want to, yeah.
Do you know any of the girls on the soccer team?
I know.
Do you know any of them? Or
no.
Hope Heisey, she might let you go up there and take a few shots. Know. What's your favorite soccer team that you love to watch play? Do you have a team that you like?
I love Barcelona.
Okay.
Back in Spain.
Barcelona, is that close to where you live, or
no?
No.
We have one right in my island. It's called Mallorca.
Mallorca, okay.
And I also like them, but when I started watching soccer, I really was watching the Barcelona team a lot.
Now, obviously, the younger team this year, so they're going to need more from you. That's what Adia said. What does that mean when she says she needs you to be more aggressive out there?
Means she just need me to be more vocal, just be more like a leader, in and out the court. And I think that's what I'm doing now after these 5 years. So, and I really want to do that to help the team, also to help all the new people.
She said that you will hold people accountable. So tell me how you do that. If I'm on your team and you don't like the way I'm practicing, how are you going to approach me to say you need to step up your game?
I'm just trying to teach them every day when they make a mistake or something. I look back to my older practices, and I was I used to do that all the time. So just look here, do this. But yeah, I'm just trying to teach them how to do stuff, because after these 5 years with her now, I kind of understand more all the system. So and I just want to help them trying to do it faster. So
What'd you do for fun this summer?
I went back to Spain. I've been there for I'll say almost 2 months.
Okay.
And I was also playing for my national team. The 3-on-3 we won, so it was really fun. And I also had time to spend with my family back in Spain, so it was cool.
So what's the key to winning in the 3-on-3 competitions?
I think you just got to make really fast decisions, and that's what makes us win. So.
Okay, so if I'm going to Mallorca on a trip, tell me the one thing I have to do, or one place I have to see, or and the best place I need to go eat.
You have to go 100% to the cathedral.
The cathedral?
Yeah, it's really, really nice. So I would say that. And then to eat, you can eat every place.
Every place.
They have really good seafood, everything, pasta, pigs, everything. So you will join this.
Okay, when Helena Puel goes out to eat in Mallorca, what's she ordering?
I really like salmon, so
salmon.
I always trying to do order that, and then I will just say. I just love seafood, and I also like paella. It's a typical dish there with rice, seafood, and it's really good. So.
And what's your favorite thing about Tucson?
I love the campus, and I also like the sunsets here.
The sunsets.
Yeah.
Do you have a place you like to just go and kind of veg out and watch the sunset? Do you have a spot?
Yeah, I went one time to, I think it's called Stargate or something.
Oh, okay. Star Pass or
Star Pass, yeah.
Star Pass, okay.
Yeah, and it was really cool. So yeah, I love the sunsets.
Outstanding. Well, Helena, best of luck in your final season here.
Thank you.
Helena Puey.
Thanks to Coors Light for bringing you today's Arizona Insiders on Wildcats Radio 1290. Coors Light, official corporate sponsors of Arizona Athletics. There's nothing like game day in Arizona.
And our thanks to Helena Puello for joining us as the Wildcats again going to take on the Texas Longhorns tonight over at McHale Center. The number 5 Texas Longhorns coming in. This will be the biggest game of the year. Last year, another Big 12 team came to town, the Kansas Jayhawks, and it did not go well for the Arizona Wildcats on that particular night. Hoping that this is a much better night for the Arizona Wildcats this evening. They'll come in with a 7-2 record coming off a huge win over UC San Diego. That followed a loss to UNLV. The losses this year to UNLV and to Ole Miss. That first loss of the season came to the Rebels down at the Battle for the Atlantis tournament, which the Wildcats went to. And it's going to start a kind of a gauntlet of games here for the Arizona women's basketball team. The next 3 games, you got the number 5 team in the country coming in here tonight in the Texas Longhorns, and then you've got to go up and play your rival on Sunday in Tempe. It'll be the beginning of the final season of Pac-12 play, and the Wildcats will take on the Arizona State Sun Devils. The Sun Devils, a little bit of an improved. They were down last year, but much improved club this year, and never easy to go on the road and open up against your rival, which the Wildcats, though, are accustomed to doing because that's usually the way the schedule is laid out. And then the Wildcats will return to Phoenix again that same Wednesday, the following Wednesday. So that'll be essentially a week from today against Gonzaga in the Colangelo Hall of Fame series. That'll be the early game that the Wildcats will play that doubleheader up there. Both the men's and the women's basketball teams will be playing up in Phoenix on that afternoon, or on that day, I should say, with the ladies taking on Gonzaga at 2:30 at the Footprint Center. And then the fellows will play later on the evening at 9 o'clock against Alabama. So it'll be an exciting day. And why don't we just lay this information on you since we're talking about that right now? We are going to be live in Phoenix next Wednesday. We'll be doing the Meridian Wealth Management pregame and postgame shows from Willie's Taco Joint, which sits right next to the Footprint Center. We'll be live at Willie's with all of our coverage of the games. You'll hear the women's game first on Wildcats Radio 1290. Again, coverage on that will begin at 2:15 next Wednesday. Tip off around 2:30, and then once Derek Palmer is done, we'll take over. I'll be up there. Kelvin Ifan will be back here in studio. We'll have the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show for you ahead of the Wildcats tilt with the Alabama Crimson Tide. So we'll have you from probably a little bit after 5 o'clock or around that time until 8 o'clock. The network will take over at 8, and then it's a late ball game once again for the men. It'll be the second time this season that they have tipped off a game at 9 o'clock, but they will do so. And then we'll go back to Willie's Taco Joint for a late postgame show, that will probably actually be mostly on Thursday. We'll be from Willie's, though. So if you want to go up, come check us out before the game at Willie's. After the men's game, come back and have maybe that nightcap before you head. If you're staying overnight up in Phoenix, hopefully you are. If you're going to go up to see that game, stay overnight, come back and have a nightcap with us at Willie's Taco Joint. We'll close the place up from 12 to about 2 a.m. Next Thursday morning after Arizona's game against Alabama. So it is going to be a fun, long day of basketball in Phoenix a week from today. Women at 2:30, Meridian Wealth Management pregame show live from Willie's Taco Joint from 5 to 8. Men's basketball at 9 against Alabama. And then Meridian Wealth Management postgame show from Willie's Taco Joint from noon until 2 o'clock. You ready for all of that, J-Dub?
I'm always ready for basketball, David Kelly. That's a silly question. Yeah, I'll be ready, 3 a.m. That's just par for the course. Ready to do it.
There you go.
Kelvin and I will be here drinking coffee, and you'll be sipping on margaritas.
Sipping, dipping margaritas. What was it? Shipping, dipping, margarita, sipping. That's what I'll be doing at Willie's Taco Joint next Wednesday. All right, getting you home every 20 minutes on the Fives. One segment to go. If you want to get in on the show, 512, actually one segment to go in this hour. We have more coverage coming up for you after 6 o'clock. But last chance for you to get in on the show because we're going to be primarily focusing on women's basketball and getting you set for Arizona, Texas coming up after 6 o'clock. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. If you're headed down to the game tonight, what do you want to see? What do you think this women's basketball team has to do to have a chance to win this game against the Texas Longhorns, the number 5 team in the country? We'll talk more about that straight ahead. Getting you home, though, every 20 minutes on the Fives. Here's Cricket.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Reported collisions, Rudisill and Oracle, and we're seeing some backups on northbound Oracle approaching Orange Grove. Other crashes, Sabino Canyon and Cloud, southbound and eastbound slowing, Roger Road and Stone Avenue, Kolb and Irvington, also Fort Lowell and Stone Avenue. Overnight tonight, clear skies, 40, the low 68 tomorrow and 66 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Big O Tires. 'Tis the season of savings from Big O Tires. Get up to $140 in rebate savings on select sets of 4 Michelin tires with paid installation. Hurry, offer ends January 7th. Details at BigOTires.com. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Immerse yourself in premium nationwide coverage, contract-free plans, and always-free activation with Consumer Cellular, now at your local Target. While you're there, check out our newest phone, the Iris Flip. It's all the phone and camera you need, plus it features a user-friendly design, making it the perfect flip phone. From now to December 16th, you can score $10 off when you buy the Consumer Cellular Iris Flip at Target, making it only $39.99. Visit your nearest Target for the full scoop.
Wildcat fans, join head coach Adia Barnes and the Arizona women's basketball team in McHale Center this season. Single game tickets start as low as $17 and are available for purchase now. You won't want to miss the fierce competition coming to Arizona. Tickets are available at ArizonaWildcats.com/WBK. Arizona women's basketball. Let's pack McHale Center.
Get the backyard you've always wanted with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you're ready to dive in, then visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Schedule now and get 3 months of full service free. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. First Choice Pools, the first and only choice.
Tucson has a brand new platform for some of the leading conservative voices and opinion makers in America. It's the all-new Freedom 1400 KTUC. Freedom 1400 is the new home for conservative talk in Tucson. Voices you know and trust from Fox News Television, Newsmax Television, or your favorite conservative podcasts. When you want fresh, entertaining conservative talk, go to 1400 AM or stream it at freedom1400.com and listen to the new Freedom 1400.
Go Wildcats! As a new season starts, the Tucson Police Department bears down with the Tucson community. We are looking to build our team, and we need you. Interested in joining our starting lineup? Visit jointucsonpd.org. Join our team and score a great career. From our commissioned officers to our professional staff, the Tucson Police Department proudly stands behind the Arizona Wildcats. Bear down and apply today at jointucsonpd.org.
You hear it all the time. Lawyers talk about all their experience, many years of experience with insurance companies, and experience in the courtroom. But what they're not talking about is their results. Maybe they don't have any. At Lerner & Rowe, we're proud of our results because that's how we measure our success. We've helped over 150,000 people recover billions of dollars for their injuries, with over $1 billion just in the last 5 years alone. When you want results, call Lerner & Rowe.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
In this building, you can't hear anything because it's like a club. It's like a South Beach club. It's just this thumping techno club music. Thumping techno club music. Thumping techno club music. Thumping techno club music.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
That's a good techno song, too. I love that one right there. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Okay, we never wrapped up our question of the day from yesterday since we heard from Steve Kerr and his Warriors lost to the Suns last night. And the Suns are going to play again tonight, and we're going to see the Big Three for the first time. At least that's what we believe. I have not seen anything that has led me to change that belief in terms of any reports on Kevin Durant
Probable,
not playing
right?
tonight. Probable is usually pretty good. But our question yesterday was, how many games does this Big Three need to play with each other this season to be cohesive and ready for the NBA playoffs? And I gave you 4 choices on this. 48 games, 35 games, 26 games, and 15 games was kind of like the bottom line minimum. And it came out to be 26 games was the winner in this one. 33% of the people said that this team needs to play, these 3 guys need to play at least 26 of the remaining 60 games together for them to be cohesive and on point going into the postseason next spring.
Yeah, I mean, to win an NBA title, right? I mean, think about the Heatles, right? They made the finals the first year. They all got together, but they didn't win, right? I mean, even that loaded team, and they were all in their primes. Beal and KD might be towards the middle to tail end. So, but as far as Vogel's defense is the real thing that they all need to get on the same page for as far as those rotations go. As far as scoring and ISO, what you've seen, you might have heard earlier if you're listening to the show, Beal was asked about the quote, junk defenses that they're seeing. What that means is as soon as Booker touches the ball, he gets doubled. Doesn't matter where he is. As soon as Beal gets the ball, he's doubled. You cannot do that if Booker, Beal, and KD are on the court together. All 3 of those guys can kill you from 3 levels. So ideally, with a healthy team, it's a nightmare to match up offensively. For right now, they're just trying to make sure Booker isn't the guy that beats them. He's getting doubled 90 feet away from the basket.
Yeah, and he did last night in the fourth quarter, finished with 32 points. All right, our question of the day today goes back to the story we told earlier. If you weren't with us in the 3 o'clock hour, so an email went out internally here within Cumulus Radio about a lunch up at Vivace, and it was sent to everybody. We're like most companies. We have an email that is everybody in the building gets it, is on that particular email listserv. And so I get this email, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, cool. We got another company lunch. We already had our company Christmas party last week, but now we get the company lunch at the really nice restaurant apparently, and so I went up to Vivace yesterday thinking that there was a company lunch there, to come to find out that was actually a lunch involving just the sales team. Not everybody in the building, even though the email went out to everybody in the building. It was just a lunch for the sales team. So I got to have lunch with the boss and the sales boss and all of our fine people that are out there telling you about 1290 if you own a business here in Tucson or somewhere in southern Arizona. At Vivace, the food was good. The service was a little slow yesterday, but our waiter was fine. He was a good guy. He did everything he could, but sometimes the kitchen just is a little bit. The people in the front of the building always have to kind of help prop up the kitchen. The guys cooking. I mean, again, the food was great, so the guys that were cooking back there did a fabulous job. I loved my meal. It took a long time to get there. When we got there at noon, Ordered at 12:45 and didn't get our food until almost an hour later. So it took a little while to get there. I had to take a few bites and skedaddle to get down here for yesterday's show. So the question of the day is, did you ever go to a lunch that you thought you were invited to, but you really were not invited to? Because that's what happened to me yesterday. DK's not. If you send an email to DK saying there's a lunch, I'm going to go. Because I like food. I like to eat. I like to get a nice meal. I'm a media guy. There's nothing us media guys love more than free food. And so if I get an invitation, I'm going to take it.
Especially baseball media, DK.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if there's a scale involved in a lot of clubhouses in baseball, but I've never seen a media person, the buffets and the spread that they must have in some of those boxes must be pretty, a lot of butter, I think, involved.
So head on over to our Twitter page right now, at Wildcats1290, and you can vote in this poll. Did you ever go to a lunch that you thought you were invited to, but really you were not invited to? Right now, 80% of the people saying, no, I've never gone to a lunch that I thought I was invited to, but really I was not invited to. There you go. All right, I want to tell you about a sweet deal that we have got going on at Rusty's Family Restaurant and Sports Grill. You know, I love sports bars, right? And this is a pretty good one. This is one of the better sports bars in Tucson. You can get a $50 gift certificate for just $25 to Rusty's. This sweet deal is going to go on sale at wildcatsradio1290.com at 8:30 Friday morning. So head on over to our website, get in on this sweet deal, $50 gift certificate, $25 to Rusty's Family Restaurant and Sports Grill. A great atmosphere for happy hour. It's at Grant and Silverbell. 45 TVs. They've got all the sports on. I'm sure they're going to have the Suns game on tonight. If you want to head on over there, they'll have the Wildcats game on Saturday. Hopefully, we'll talk about that tomorrow because, again, not everybody's going to be able to watch the Wildcats on Saturday. I can't watch the Suns tonight. Most of us are not going to be able to watch the Wildcats on Saturday without ponying up a little bit of money. But we'll get into that on Thursday. I'm not going to get into that today. But Rusty's, they've even got TV. They've got booths with personal TVs. How about that? That's old school right there. So a $50 gift certificate for $25. It's a sweet deal we've got going on Friday morning, 8:30 over at wildcatsradio1290.com. All right, J-Dub, I've got something new that I'm starting.
Let's do it.
Today. In fact, we've got to maybe get some promos going for this. I'm calling it Prep Prince and Princesses. Okay?
Okay.
Prep Prince and Princesses. And what we're going to do is we're going to shout out some of our prepsters, maybe not every day. We're going to maybe try to do it every day, but as often as we can, that are doing fabulous things on the floor. It's kind of a turn on our Tonight in Tucson kind of thing, but Prep Prince and Prep Princesses. All right, so are you ready for our first Prep Princess?
Real quick, can I just say that Sports Illustrated in the 70s, 80s, they had one page in the very back, and it was just about preps around the country.
Right.
And it was always my favorite thing to go all the way back there and just kind of see who they were literally shouting out around the country. And because before you could have YouTube and these other abilities to go and watch highlights and stuff, it was such a good connection to the rest of the country, and I always loved that. So
what was it? And it was. Do you remember what it was called?
I do not. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, but I remember exactly what you're talking about, and I think most of us did the same thing, hoping maybe that we might see our name there, knowing that we were not going to see our name. But yeah, maybe somebody from your community.
Your local community. I think that was. I was always checking to see like if somebody from town made the news. Type of thing.
So our first Prep Princess. Some days we'll have a Prep Prince and a Princess. Some days we'll just have one. Today we just have one. So our Prep Princess for today, Thursday, December the 13th, 2023, is Dominique Munoz from Douglas High School, Douglas Girls Soccer. She scored 4 goals last night for the Douglas Bulldogs in a 10-0 win over the Nogales Apaches. So congratulations to Dominique Munoz. She is our first prep princess. DK on the sports tip. We'll get with Keith and see if he can get that sold. Maybe we can have something for these kids that we want to annoy. But she's our first prep princess. Dominique Munoz from Douglas High School. Douglas Bulldogs scored 4 goals last night in a 10-0 win over Nogales. Congratulations on that fabulous performance, Dominique. All right, boys basketball last night. We're also just going to shout out some games and talk about a few things. Boys basketball last night, we had a couple of close games. Bisbee beat Benson 56-55. The Pumas are now 7-2 on this young basketball season. Buena knocked off Choya 72-71. Cyree Jenkins had 20 points in that game in a losing cause for the Chargers. Girls basketball last night, a couple of the Southern Arizona heavyweights. South Point Catholic and Flowing Wells did battle over at South Point Catholic High School. The Lady Lancers, knocked off the Lady Cabs 55-25, so they win by 30 points. South Point Catholic now 7-2, Flowing Wells falls to 8-4. Allison Evans scored 17 points for the Lady Lancers, who are currently playing without not only their best player, but one of the best players in the state in Talia Henderson, who is currently out with a knee injury. She's played in just one game so far this season. But Talia, you'll remember, as a sophomore, helped lead the Lady Lancers to the state championship, their first state championship in school history. Then they were so good last year, they had to play in the Open Division and got knocked out, I believe it was in the quarterfinals last year. But she averaged 19 points and 8 rebounds a season ago. They're expecting to have Talia Henderson back before the end of the season, being heavily recruited. She's got a number of offers. We'll get into that more and maybe even try to get Talia on the show before the season is out to talk about the number of offers that she's getting from all the top Division I programs in the country. So a great shout out to her and speedy recovery to Talia Henderson. All right, also tonight in Tucson, boys basketball over at Saguaro. We mentioned the Cougars are off to a great start, 8-1 on the season. They are going to welcome in Tanca Verde. Tanca Verde is 6-3. The Cougars have an outstanding sophomore guard by the name of Cisco Lamas, who's averaging 18 points and 6 assists through the first 9 games of this season. 5'8" sophomore guard Cisco Lamas leading the Cougars off to their fast start. Tanca Verde is led by a set of twins, Rich and Phil Knott. The twin 6'3" guards are both juniors. Phil is averaging 17 points per ball game. Rich Knott is averaging 13 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists for the Hawks, who are 6-3. So if you want to see some high school basketball tonight, our tonight in Tucson top choice is Tanca Verde at Saguaro. That game gets underway at about 7 o'clock. Let's tell you a little bit about QC Kinetics before we get out of here for this particular hour. This is about as good a situation as you're going to find. Because you really don't want to go through another year with that awful joint pain. So you need to call QC Kinetics right now. Make 2024 the year that you are back living normal again. QC Kinetics can give you your life back. They are the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. These are all natural treatments that can repair and restore that damaged tissue, giving you pain-free movement again. QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients around the country, people who had knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, but they were able to get that lasting relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. If you have pain from an old injury, maybe something associated with arthritis, you need to check this out. The future of medicine is here. Regenerative treatments from QC Kinetics. Make the call now so you can get the most out of 2024. Get back to doing what you love. Don't forget, your HSA, your FSA, you can use those to get these treatments from QC Kinetics. So get that free consultation. They've got 2 locations here in Southern Arizona. One is off of Academy. The other is off of Orange Grove. Call QC Kinetics now, 520-497-4955, 520-497-4955. QC Kinetics. Once again, that phone number is 520-497-4955. Okay. We are going to take a break here. Again, normally the show ends at 6. Today, that is not the case. We are going to stay with you here and take you right up to Arizona women's basketball. Coming up in the next hour, you're going to hear from Adia Barnes. And we had a chance earlier to talk to Roger Wallace, the play-by-play man for the Texas Longhorns. You will hear part of that conversation if you weren't with us here in the 3 o'clock hour. Get you set for tonight's game, which tips off at 7 o'clock at McHale Center, the number 5 Longhorns and your Arizona Wildcats. I'm David Kelly. It's DK on the Sports Tip. J.W. Madden and Cricketer here. It's Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Cloud and Sabino Canyon. Crash occurred there. Heavy southbound backups on Sabino Canyon as you approach and pass River Road, and also some backups on eastbound River approaching Sabino Canyon. Collision that occurred also at Rudisill and Oracle and Rudisill. 40, the overnight low with clear skies, 68 tomorrow and 65 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Window Depot.
The Window Depot is your go-to spot for Milgard windows and patio doors. Milgard offers beautiful, long-lasting, and energy-efficient windows and doors to help you create the perfect home. Build the home you deserve with custom Milgard windows from the Window Depot. Find a location near you at thewindowdepot.com.
If you look under the tree in our showroom at O'Reilly Chevrolet, you'll find an additional $1,000 in O'Reilly cash on any new and used models. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
The Wildcats play here. This is your home of Arizona Wildcats football, men's basketball, and baseball. This is the home of the Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hi, I'm Alex Medina, new owner of Oro Ford. Everybody's talking about it. It's my 2+2 guarantee. 2% lower taxes, plus I'll beat any new Ford deal in town by 2%.
Oro Ford, where 2+2 equals Ford.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Hi, it's Floyd, the family man with the family plan. Outdated HVAC systems will drive up your electric bill, drain your wallet, and peace of mind. Save now at Goodfellas with no payments or interest till 2024. Get a 30% federal tax credit, up to $2,000 off qualifying heat pumps. Trust Goodfellas. We're locally owned with thousands of 5-star reviews. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Visit us at goodfellasac.com to schedule a no-cost estimate.
Last minute shopping? Ulta Beauty has everything I need for everyone on my list. Ready to gift fragrance kits from YSL and Valentino, and the hottest gift sets from MAC, Tarte, and Lancome. Plus, everyone loves an Ulta Beauty gift card. Shop last minute gifts that will bring joy to everyone on your list. Hurry in store or place your online pickup order today. Ulta Beauty, the possibilities are beautiful.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Start learning a new language today at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Well, boss, how's the sleigh?
It's amazing. Like it just flew off the showroom floor. Sparkling clean, no chimney dust, and I've never seen his nose so bright.
Recon Auto Detailing.
Recon gift cards to all, and to all a clean ride.
Give Recon Auto Detailing gift cards, and Arizona's premier auto detailing company will come do a basic cleaning or a jaw-dropping full detail, including a ceramic finish for anyone on your list. Get your Recon Auto Detailing gift cards now online at recondetail.com.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket, just like our customer Jaron.
I'm the singer and guitarist in a band, and I use my Cricket phone for everything. It's basically like another band member.
Don't miss a single beat. Switch today and get a free Samsung Galaxy A14 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Real customer paid for testimonial. Must bring your number to Cricket on up to a $60 a month voice plan depending on device. Select models only while supplies last. First month service charge and tax due at sale. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Fees, terms, and restrictions apply. See store for details.
Time is of the essence with COVID-19. Prescription oral treatment must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Learn more at treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
At Total Wine, December is Dealcember. Absolute Vodka is $10.99, Bailey's Irish Cream is only $14.99, and Jim Beam is only $9.99 when you buy 2 bottles. It's Dealcember at Total Wine & More. Real find what you love and love what you find. Only at your Total Wine & More.
Prices effective on 750 ml only now through December 31st. Drink responsibly. B21.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by
Casino del Sol, Soul Sports, Bet Easy, Win Big, Bet Local.
We are your home of Arizona Athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. DK on the sports tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
We are just about an hour away from Arizona women's basketball. The ladies welcoming in the number 5 Texas Longhorns for a meeting at McHale Center, 7 o'clock tip-off. I'm David Kelly. Let's hear from the head coach of the Arizona Wildcats, Adia Barnes, as her team gets set for this big task tonight here at home.
I'm excited, getting ready to play a game again at home. Texas is a really good team, and excited to bring them to Tucson. And this is actually the return of a return game of a couple years ago from Erie. So it's been a long time to return, but happy we're finally doing that because it's going to be a good, exciting game.
Impressive about the way they've been able to build their program and get to number 5 this year.
Well, we knew they were going to build their program. Texas is the hotbed for players, so you can recruit in your backyard. Vic's a great coach. They have every resource there, so we knew they were going to be good. It was just a matter of time. They have some talented players, and like Rory, their point guard, is an in-state kid. So they have some really good in-state talent, and just she's a beast. But I think besides her, there's a lot of good players around her. So it's going to be a fun game.
Have you told your players anything about the last time you played? Just so they know, there's not much history, but that's big history for the program.
Yeah, no, we really haven't talked about it a lot, just because the only player left from that team is Helena. So honestly, haven't really even talked about it because these games come fast and everything comes so fast. So just kind of the preparation is all we've talked about.
What's the scout on Texas?
Well, Texas is really good in transition. Well, first of all, really good defensively. They like to turn you over and score in transition. Really good offensive rebounding. And just, they're one of the few teams in the country that's excellent in the mid-range game. And that's really rare. If you look at most teams, you're not allowed to take mid-range shots because it's the lowest percentage shot in basketball. You would take threes or layups. And they are really good at mid-range. They take a lot of them, but they're efficient. And if you look at the analytics and stuff, so that's hard. And Rory has an incredible mid-range game. She'll be an All-American, but she's hard to guard because she goes downhill and she rises up. So, and that's usually when you defend against pick and rolls and different things, you're usually giving that mid-range shot. So you don't want to give that to her, but then she's fast. If you're tight on her, she can drive by you. And then they're just monsters on the boards. And then they're going to press you the whole game. So it's a style that most teams can't play. And that's a style that we like to play. They're just a little bit bigger and more athletic.
After watching the film, were there any additional things that kind of stood out to you about the way your team bounced back from the loss to UNLV?
Yeah, I think that the team was able to apply the things that we worked on and able to do them. So we worked on how we wanted the ball to move. So you saw a lot more ball movement. You saw better offense. You saw better passes inside. So, we shot our highest percentage of the year from the 2 and the 3. And that end result of doing those things, it gave us open shots inside. It gave us open shots from the 3 that are makeable shots. I think before we were taking really quick contested shots, which you're going to have a really low percentage. And we went into the game shooting 25% from the 3. So that was a 50% game, and we took 20 of them. So I think that hopefully after that success, the players can see that it works when we kind of focus and do the things we're supposed to do. And me just doing a better job of being more specific. But then, as a coach, I think when you have a more experienced team, you don't want to say, the ball has to go here, here, here before you take a shot. But I think that it worked, and we're young and a lot of new players, and I think then it's clear what the expectation is, and there isn't any gray area, so it works. It's better.
Maria has these games where, she's shooting 6 or 7, 9 of 10, 6 or 7. Are you seeing some commonalities in what she's doing offensively in those games?
I think fighting for better position, staying out of foul trouble, that's a big commonality. Not fouling, so you can stay in the game. And I think as a freshman, though, you're going to have, peaks and valleys, right? So you're going to be inconsistent sometimes. I think the thing that teams are doing to her now is they're doubling her. And because they know a lot of times she puts the ball on the floor right away. So we're working with her on not doing that. And that's kind of like in high school, you can do that. Here, they put a lot of bodies around. They're making her pass out, and she was turning it over a little bit. But she's getting more experience. She's learning. Those are happening in game situations. So we're showing her on film, and she's improving on that. So now, as a freshman, it's like you're supposed to learn, and you're supposed to go through those things. And she's going to be a really good player. She's in the best shape of her life. She's moving better than she ever has. She's getting better. We're working on things every day. So she's going to be a great impact player, and she's already impacting us as a freshman.
What kind of things did you work on this week? I know that there was some, even though you played really well the other day, you always, it's getting better every day.
Yeah, so worked a lot just on our fundamentals because we're still turning the ball over more than I'd like to. Some of that's because some people were out of position a little bit. So just working on the fundamentals of passing in the post because our strength right now is inside. Continuing to work on shooting. We shot the ball better last game. We need to shoot the ball better. We will shoot the ball better because we're running better offense and continuing to be specific in the offense. Like, we're running this to get this. We're running that to get that. We're doing this because of this. I think being specific and working on that specific thing. So not working on 10 things, working on these are 4 specific things. And I think that's really helped for people to understand. And then just trying to get people healthier back in, and we've been working on that. We'll have a short bench, but the great thing for a player is they should be like, oh, that's great, because everybody's going to play. And you can play through some more mistakes. So if I'm a freshman or a young player, it's like you have chances. And you would have a shorter leash if you were playing behind a 5th year, or super senior, or an experienced player. So I think for our freshmen, great opportunity. For not Montea, but Montea can watch, but for Skylar, Brea, and Jada, it's like you get to get thrown into the fire, and that's going to really pay off later. I've been saying it all year. We're going to be young and have some mistakes, but it'll pay dividends later.
This year, obviously, you had to change a little bit of your teaching, right? Because it's so many new players, and you're young. But in the past, you also, I remember you've done some of those personality things where you've learned how to, when somebody else is a different type of personality, how they learn. Are you still applying those things? Do you still have, how you went back and you not only you showed film in a different way last time, but you had to show them the advanced analytics of this shot is efficient, is not that efficient, and this is more. Is all of that part of the, they learn in different ways?
For sure. Well, you have to show things in different ways. But yeah, that was one of the things I did last game. And we've been doing more of that. But some players don't understand all those numbers. So you have to show specific things and kind of put it in layman's terms sometimes just to understand. I didn't understand that stuff when I was a kid. I didn't know how to read defense. And that's why the process is slower, like reading and counters and stuff, because it's easier to say go to point A to point B. It's harder to say, well, if they do this, do that, and work on the readings. That takes time. You're seeing Jada improve on some of it, though. But it takes a year. It takes time in the system. That's why when you look at the systems that we have, we're much better keeping players for multiple years. Like when we went to the championship, we had that group together 3 years. And so I think building on that, understanding that this year we're going to have bumps and bruises, and it's going to be tough at times, but knowing that the big picture and what the end result is. And the analytics we have, Kyle is really good. He's our video guy. He's really good at analytics and breaking stuff down. So trying to show them this is what that means, and dumb it down well, the right side this, the left side that. And it also helps us with our skill development, So we've been working a ton on shooting because, players have finals and have all these demands. They're not getting in the gym for hours. Some are, and the majority of our team is, but some it is really tight with their time. So I just build it in so they have time in practice. We don't need to practice 3 hours. So it might be that 30 minutes in that first block where it's just skill or free throws or shots out of our offense or just set shots just to have repetition. And that's been really helping because we're seeing the results and we're shooting the ball better. We're not going to shoot 25% for the year, hopefully.
How do you feel, I guess, about how Jade is seeing it offensively from the distribution standpoint?
I think Jade is getting better. She's getting better defensively. She's a worker. She's a dog. She's plays with heart and hustle. So she's never gonna not get better because of her mentality. So she'll never be the quickest. She'll never jump the highest. She'll never be the biggest. But she's got a big heart, and like that's how Kelsey Plum was. If you look at Kelsey Plum in college, like she couldn't guard anybody her first